Democrats right now are a bunch of idiot buffoons. They have the audacity to blame the queers for being too left-wing and insist on shifting their politics right. Now, I ain't saying they's all bad. That Mamdani guy, he's pretty slick. And AOC even endorsed his ass. I know what a wise guy like you can do. Get out there and protest them fascist dingrods. No kings, no problem, am I right? And since you're the musical type, spread the message through your art. Just tell him Vinny sent you.
New York City Democratic mayoral candidate and Muslim Zohran Mamdani has gone over 24 hours since last condemning Hamas, therefore implicating him as a terrorist against Jews. In other news, studies show ethno-states are in and human rights are out. In the interest of providing a fair and balanced debate on this subject, Republican Congressman Fred Dingleberry will be joining us tonight facing off against a homeless man's dog we stole from outside the studio. This has been Modern Journalism.
Turn that shit off. You know I hate the tools over at the Legacy Media. So, you join DSA or what? This country needs it, honestly. The Democrats can't keep polishing the same turd every election. We need socialist solutions to all the fucked up shit going right now. Don't take me for a dumbass, though. I'm not talking third party. It sucks, but we gotta change the Dems into something less shit.
I had hoped that the white moderate would understand that law and order exists for the purpose of establishing justice, and that when they fail in this purpose, they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress.
Commentators burst the scenes, politics daily, plenty more. Your sense of fashion, you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack, 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 Riverboat Jack. That's what I'm talking about. First time singing the songs for Riverboat Jack. Shout out. I don't know what I'm doing really, but I got passion. And that's what it's about. It's all about passion.
It's all about passion. Hello, 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 hello. How we all doing today? Yeah, 3 minutes to midnight. I'm sorry I'm so late today. It's a holiday though. Had stuff going on. Hello, Punky Gal. Hello, the Goblin 2684. Hello, the One-Eyed Weirdo. Hello, Burning Sock 5. Hello, Just to Be Here. Hello, Firecrafted. Hello, Sweet Blasphemy. Hello, Jazz Dog, the jazziest dog we know. Hello, Uncle Gumbald. Hello, Forlorn79. Hello, Hammock. Hello, Cliff. Hello, Inquisitor VDM. Hello, Banana Brains. Hello, Nocturnal 8999. Hello, Comrade Girl 2018. Hello, Sweet and Sour Serena. Hello, DTH. Hello, Osimo 406. Hello. Hello. How we doing, Blake Gunnels? Hello, John Bainbridge. Hello, you lovely shimps. Hello, Elaine Malachite. Hello, Sheepish T-Rex. Hello, a Clark Vibe. Hello, Paladin Lost. And you know what? It's been a hot minute.
Do you want to tank? Do you want to fight? Do you want a class that'll instill fright? Take up some plate and keep the goblins inside, because you want to make sure they eat this paladin smite! Fuck you, gods. If you want me to play your game of ethics, you can kiss my shiny plate mail. Alright, fine. Wait a minute, what the hell is that noise?
A perfect combination of these two Joe Cat clips.
Yeah, I just really like girls.
Yeah. Hello, Joe. Hello, Quiet Kitsune. Hello, Cute Dark Arts. Hello, Just Running Errands. Hello, Fuzzy Simba. Hello, Bun Girl. Hello, Kiva and Defer. Hello, Webmage 101. Hello, Quinn Decker. Hello, Queen 32. That was difficult to read. I'm sorry. Hello, Simric D. Hello, Cliffy Fishing. Hello, Hammock _1. Wait a minute. I think I might be double reading some of these names here. Hello, Zara and Joy. Hello, Evelyn M. I thought Daily Wire already hit the bottom. Yeah, so I do want to say we are going to get to part 2 of Jillian Michaels versus Sam Cedar, because that just feels like a reward you guys deserve. But I am also going to say, if you guys manage to hit, let's just say, you know what? Let's say 300 subs. And I know that's a big ask. That's a big stretch. But also, Quinn Decker, thank you for being the first person to support stream over in Twitch chat. Very much appreciate it. Simric D, thank you for being the second person to support stream today. Also in Twitch chat, getting us up to 87. If we hit 300 tonight, just on the off chance, I do think it would be really fun to sit down and watch the public access television show that Stephen Colbert went and did after his retirement from late night, which is just kind of delightful.
Hello, also welcome. It's time for another edition of Only in Monroe. I'm your guest, host, Stephen Colbert.
It has an air of just do not give a fuck energy that is incredible. It's truly almost weaponizable how much he doesn't give a fuck, and it's great. It's very weird. and amazing. And I thought it'd be fun to experience together. Nocturnal 8999. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. You got friend of the show, Agramuglia over there. Hell yeah. Doing your part. Thank you very much, Nocturnal. Appreciate you. That Jillian Michaels versus Sam Cedar had me crying. It's genuinely so fucking funny how over it Sam is the entire time, and how Jillian Michaels thinks that she keeps like cornering him by using fucking Google Gemini to AI summarize different topics she knows nothing about. God. Hi, there are some streams of yours I've really enjoyed, and I have rewatched those VODs like 3 times already. Hell yeah. One of them, the levels of consciousness one. You create very good content. Thank you very much. I'm glad you really enjoy the content. Car Moose says, I appreciate it. What job would you have in a socialist US? I don't know. I'd love to open like a comic book shop or something, or like a gaming store. I think that'd be really fun. I think like having like a local like business collectively owned by myself and the other people who work there, I think it'd be really like solidarity building. I'd probably continue doing what I do right now and pushing for things to get even better, of course. But like, I don't know, stuff like that. I think I could very much get into. I'd be a game composer. Jazz Dog, let me tell you something. You could already be a game composer. You are so fucking talented. Thank you for slumming it up with us. In the deep sea where the shrimp live. Have I ever consumed a shot glass of hot sauce? Yeah, it's basically all the foods I eat. I put like an obscene amount of hot sauce on things. I've been making these little breakfast sandwiches. Like I went to like a butcher shop and like I got some like, you know, their home recipe, like just spicy hot breakfast sausage. And I've been making little breakfast wraps with like high fiber tortillas. It's been genuinely one of the like best breakfasts I've ever discovered, and a major component with that is a lot of hot sauce inside. Hello, anime sidekick gal. Happy Monday to you as well. And do folks, I do hope you guys managed to hit 300 subs tonight, because I would love to do some late night Stephen Colbert with you guys. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Is honey mustard the best sauce? Not my personal jam. I mean, is it supposed to be a happy Memorial Day? Isn't Memorial Day supposed to be somber? Either way, you know what? I think the best way to honor those who have passed on is to feel joy. So happy Memorial Day to you fine folks as well. 300 from 92. I know it's a big ask. How do you not have heartburn from eating hot sauce with every dish? You know, it's weird. Like the hot sauce generally doesn't set off like heartburn. Oftentimes it's just like, it can just be like tomatoes. You know, like a good pizza sauce can do it. But otherwise, you know, I'm not prone to
That moment when you're looking for a particular meme from a Jack stream but the stream VODs haven't been updated in ages.
The stream VODs haven't been updated. What does that mean? Sake Taruki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Very much appreciated. Getting us up to 97. Anime Sidekick Gal coming out strong, swanging with 20 gifted memberships. My God. All right. You guys are getting very, very close. Anime Sidekick Gal doing her part. Yeah, maybe the stream VODs you're looking for, if you're looking on Twitch, they're not going to update very, very well. But if you're looking on YouTube, YouTube should have all the VODs publicly available. Is this the Liverall chat I was watching the other day? No. Well, maybe. I don't know what you were watching the other day. Let's get this party started. Anime Sidekick Gal, thank you very much for supporting the stream. Thanks, Starm. Oh, is this the liberal chat channel? No, I'm a socialist. Fucking get it right. Like, no, I'm a socialist. Stop it. Stop offending me. I don't come into your house and take a shit. My job is to be Mamala of the country. Alright. Now, I think you guys are going to enjoy the content that we're covering today. I think you guys are going to get a kick out of it. We're going to be going on a bit of a journey here, and you guys might think you know where this is going to go, but I guarantee you don't, okay? I guarantee you don't. You just have no you guys have no fucking idea where this bus is going, and I'm delighted that you guys get to experience this descent into hell with me. You know, I'll be your Virgil. You guys can be my Dante, and I'm gonna bring you all the way down to the depths of Hades. Why socialism? It never works, and all the money goes to a smaller group in power than what we now have. Well, number one, it'd be very difficult for power and money right now to flow into a smaller group of people's hands. Just as an FYI. I mean, like, I was watching a breakdown of wealth in Germany the other day, and like 2 families own like over half the wealth in all of Germany. So like it'd be pretty hard for wealth to get concentrated into even fewer hands here. But you know, the reason I would say socialism is because socialism is inherently democratic. I believe I have a deeply anti-authoritarian sense, right? I do not believe in dictators, in kings, in, theocratic single entity leadership. I don't believe in that. I believe in democracy. I believe that our hope, as it always has been, is in the hands of working together. And so when someone asks me why not socialism, democracy is fucking powerful. And I find it way preferable to any of the dictatorships that have formed. So I find it odd that we then settle as working class people for miniature dictatorships that manage our workplaces. Why on earth should a single man or woman benefit from owning the factory instead of everyone who works at the factory? Everyone who works at the factory should have a say in what is done with the factory, what's done with the proceeds of their labor. And ultimately, I think that that's far more just to the workers. It is a far more just system of administration. We can also look at the data we have, because there are currently companies that operate on democratic ownership models right now. Some of them are some of the oldest companies that have existed in the United States. And they're very successful. And my argument
have we tried
is
anti-socialism
we should have more
enough?
of those.
Let's go through one more cycle isolated at home with no grouping and see how that works.
Of course!
We got it. We solved the problem. Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. Very much appreciated. Hell yeah. And John Bainbridge, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube as well. You guys are making good progress. Socialism is literally authoritarian by definition. No, it's not. Like, when Like, you can read the Communist Manifesto, you can read Marx, and Marx talks about the system of ownership should be dictated by the workers, i.e., the people who work in the factory should collectively run the factory. What is being described there isn't dictatorship, it's democracy. Marx is inviting democracy into the workplace structure, saying that if you work for an 8-hour day, you should have a say over what is done with your labor. You should have a say in your working conditions. You should have a say in how you are compensated. And likewise, so should all of your coworkers. Like, that's not that like I'm not even like having to read into that a lot when the Communist Manifesto talks about workers of the world, you have nothing to lose but your chains. They're talking about the chains to private ownership, because what is being advocated is for workers to have agency in their workplaces. Right? So like that's what's being talked about. It's not like authoritarianism. Authoritarianism is actually what Marx is expressly writing against. And it's one of the reasons, FYI, why, if you read what Marx wrote, he will talk extensively about how capitalism is an improvement on feudalism, right? He admits that there are benefits to adopting capitalism. He just believes that there is a more just way to move and grow beyond capitalism, just as there was a better way to grow out of feudalism and into a better, more just way of doing things. So, like, I don't know. Like, you don't have to read a whole lot of Marx to understand this. And you don't really have to read Marx at all to understand like the basic premise. But Jack, I thought this was the super sexy French made socialism stream. Should I keep these fishnets on or change out of them? It would be fun to do a stream like that sometime, Go make a sandwich, honey. Only if I'm fairly compensated for my labor. Let's see. All right. Sorry. I do love getting sidetracked whenever someone like comes in and asks me about socialism. I will almost always get sidetracked for that. I apologize. Let's move on. We got some great content for you today. Okay?
Ah, but Jack, you fail to realize that we are talking about my misinformed version of socialism I have in my head. Socialism is when billionaire king.
Checkmate, atheists.
But how can we seize the means of production without Oak Buddy Jack?
Isn't there like an I do not pay attention to what gets made out there. I could swear somebody went ahead and made like a Riverboat Jack like meme Reddit. I don't know where it is. I maybe it's called that, but I'm not sure. Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 5 tier 1 subs. I do appreciate it. All right. All right, you scallywags. Would you be interested in that co-op caucus introductory meeting? I don't remember or know what you're talking about. So that either means I'm already currently at capacity and I'm very overwhelmed, or I just don't know what you're talking about. I am very much at capacity this week. Socialism is when no Borger. Socialism is when so many better Borgers. You know what? Can I like just take I opened up our last stream talking about food, or maybe 2 streams ago. But I did want to share this. Can I just find this? I probably can't. Oh god. Yeah, I can't find it. It's a great reaction video to the viral trend of just smashing burgers until they're paper thin, you know? Like, it's genuinely, disgusting to me because it's, like, made out to be very fancy and, like, cool, but it's actually just a way to give you less hamburger. Like, I don't know, it makes me upset. People be paying for, like, these artisanal hamburgers, and they're getting it's not no, it's like a next level of smash burger because they're getting smashed even thinner. They're, like, smashing the burgers thinner and thinner, and people are just, like, clapping about it like seals, and I'm just sitting here being like, "God, why? Why would you do that? Why?" They're cheating you out of burgers to your face, and you love them for it. God. My issue with socialism is getting enough people to agree on how to benefit from their combined work when I can't even get my family to agree on what to have for dinner. Well, so I think a great model for socialism in the workplace is actually democracy, like representative democracy. Um, for larger structures, but you could also do direct democracy, kind of like how a publicly traded company responds to kind of the will of their investors at like investor meetings. In a similar way, you could do worker meetings. Like you basically just have workers dictating what the goals of like the board of directors for the company should be. Those are the binding resolutions that get made like once every quarter, and like you move from there, right? Like I don't think it's as insurmountable a hurdle as some people think because again, it already exists in currently functioning companies. Let's see. All right. I have dawdled enough. It's time. Now my question is, do you guys want to check out the Daily Wire's Rock Bottom first, or would you like to check out Asmongold first? Which would you prefer? I don't know how possible it is without a significantly more educated society. You don't need a significantly more educated society. We already have a democracy in the United States right now. Like, you don't need like a hugely more educated society because the people who work at their business know the business the best out of anyone. You would actually have better run companies than you do right now. Stinky rat alarm man. Okay. The blood wall. I really hate that you guys are making a bunch of references that I understand. Okay. Also, I want you all to know before we get started. I love you all and I apologize. All right? I apologize because I had the idea before stream, "Hey, let's see what other let's see what conservative content creators are up to." And that was a mistake. That was a mistake. So, folks, I was sitting here thinking to myself before I started, streaming tonight, what should I talk about? And of course, Asmongold came up because I haven't covered an Asmongold video in a while. What's that crazy guy up to? With his blood wall and his TikTok rat.
Happen
wakes him up.
socialism with no Borgar king. The only advantage of smashburgers is if the person making them drags spatula to create a crispy thin edge after smashing.
Look, I just think smash burgers are a scam. Okay, smash burgers are a scam invented by Big Burger so that they can give you less burger. That is my conspiracy theory of the day. Big Burger wants you to have tiny burger, all right? So they can sell as much burger as they can for the most amount of money. All right? It's a way to scam you. Don't trust Big Burger. Don't fall for it. Quarter pounder or nothing. All right, we're gonna start that over from the beginning. Whew. I was outside sweating today. Oof. My hair is messy. Whew. Not too bad though. Okay. Let's give this another shot. So, folks, I haven't covered an Asmongold video in a while. I wanted to know what that guy with his little rat clock and his blood wall and his, disturbing lifestyle. I wanted to know what he was up to. Okay, like what's he got going on? One of the biggest conservative content creators on YouTube. What's he up to? Let's take a quick look. Okay, so I went over to his channel, and there's this video called "This Man is an Absolute Fucking Patriot," and I watch approximately 0 seconds of this video because I just immediately pause it, right? Because already on screen, I see maybe one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life, right? Which is that he's looking through his likes on Twitter, which in and of itself isn't that interesting. Content creators do what content creators got to do.
Currently researching Asmongold to prove to my friend he shouldn't get opinions from him.
Perfect, because I'm about to really put that nail in the coffin here. Now, one thing that immediately grabs my attention here is that Asmongold likes this video that is reposted by someone going by Zoomer, and I can't help but think to myself, hey, wait a minute. I recognize that username and that soy jack. I recognize who that is. And it's none other than the worst historian on YouTube, Zoomer Historian, who is an actual honest-to-God Nazi who does videos that are apologia for Rhodesia. Okay? Now, if you know anything about this, I did an entire video on this guy. And he also has deep ties to, the UK Fascist Party. like he's an out and out Nazi, okay? Yeah. He did a video all about how Rhodesia is cool and based, for perpetuating the slavery and apartheid system. It's genuinely insane, right? So I, right off the bat, already know who this guy is. And number two, I know for a fact that whatever video Zoomer Historian is sharing is going to be extraordinarily racist. Now, I want to preface this by saying I haven't actually watched this video yet. I could be completely wrong. But I don't think I am. Because I will also say that I did, before watching any of this, then go to the next order question. Wait a minute. Who is Vox Populi? Now, that's pretty interesting, right? I haven't really heard of any kind of network named Vox Populi, right? And what exactly prompted Asmongold to even be interested in covering this in the first place? In this initial uh, screenshot here, essentially, we have feel like this guy has waited his whole life to say this incredibly eloquent and accurate appraisal of the failure of Western elites. Get this guy involved with the party immediately. This entire clip was an ad for Restore Britain. And then Asmongold says,
Yeah, so apparently this video was really, really popular. Like,
how did this video get super popular? How did Asmongold become aware of it? Well, it got retweeted by Elon Musk. So that's why everyone is talking about it, because the world's richest man who bought a social media website to prioritize his posts so he could radicalize everybody else retweeted a video, no context added, right? But let's take a look. What is Vox Populi? You go to their Twitter account, of course. Got a story? Advertise your business? Got a query? And you just get like coverage of different politicians in the UK, of course. You go down through here, see a bunch of interviews. It's like not a whole lot of information on the surface about what this is about. I'm gonna sneeze. I apologize. Ooh, I think I got. I think I spared you all the sneeze. Right. You've got Vox Populi doing interviews with Restore Britain, right? Which, we'll talk about. But also, I went and I found the YouTube channel Vox Populi, and I found the actual video here, right? And one thing that immediately struck me upon looking at the full video is that it is an interview being conducted by Will Coleshill, or Coleshill. Not entirely sure how you pronounce that. Now, who is Will Coleshill? And I know that we're really going down a rabbit hole before we even really engage with the content, but I think it's important to understand what we're talking about. Well, Will Coleshill is actually a former lawmaker in the UK, and when you look him up, ex-councillor thrown out of Tory party among mob at Starmer incident. William Coleshill, head of conspiracy theory group Resistance GB at Fracas, as experts warn of rise of extremism. Yeah, so this guy is an anti-vaxxer who is in charge of an entire conspiracy website, and he also works and moonlights as a reporter for this website Vox Populi. Now, where did Vox Populi come from? The details on their website is scanty at best, right? But there is an interesting website here, Hope Not Hate, right? Which does give a brief blurb, right? And also points out that they're related to Tommy Robinson, who is a fascist in the UK. Fascist white supremacist. Vox Populi is a far-right news outlet broadly composed of young, up-and-coming British activists. These include Montgomery Toms, an anti-vaxxer who regularly makes a nuisance of himself by giving political speeches in packed tubes and train stations, James Harvey, the Norwich-based head of Students Against Tyranny, and Jonathan Wong, the organizer of Abolish Asylum Day, and close associate of Carl Benjamin, aka Sargon of Akkad. So, they're not a really big channel, but it is kind of a collaboratory effort to have some kind of respectable veneer for essentially their far right activism. That's what they're going for here, right? Now, one thing I found very interesting, and I'm not entirely sure how this fits in, but when you go down and look at the actual information for this particular interview, you get support our work. Okay. Vox Populi Media /donations. Okay. Subscribe to Vox Populi. Okay. Link to subscribe to them. And then you have follow Russian garbage human. And of course that caught my eye. What the hell is that? What the hell is Rush garbage human? So you click on that and it takes you to this account. Culturally English, ethnically Russian, you cannot coexist with people who want you dead and your children sent to re-education camps. Never give up your guns. And then the banner images is when we win, do not forget that these people want you broke, dead, and your kids raped and brainwashed, and they think it's funny. So what the hell is this? Right? You like start going down and it's just this is I shit you not, right? You get the pinned post and then you get the first post on this channel which appears to be like just from a retweeted a Nazi account, like just straight up. It's scary, and then it's this post. The stark physical difference between young men and young women of the same age is severely understated. Relationships with significant age gaps are very obviously biologically advantageous. And then it's scary how young men now are physically stuck at 14 years old when they turn 18 due to lack of testosterone and late bloomerisms, while girls already look like they're already 25 years old by 17 due to estrogenic chemicals in our food and water, which is, again, maybe one of the most rapey things I've ever heard in my life directed towards children. Like, I like like it's genuinely astonishing, right? Like uh, the far right is just openly embracing like the most pedophilic things I've ever seen posted. And like that's where the British right is right now. They're just like talking about how like this is it's totally look, it's totally fine to be attracted to
I'm
underage
literally
girls.
voice acting a Green Lantern who is fighting a far-right extremist group. Imagine the whiplash from these news sources we felt while recording.
Oh
Lol.
god, Attack on Pony Productions. No kidding. No kidding.
The hell are
Oh,
estrogenic chemicals in our food, WTH?
yeah, honestly, I was so focused on the other parts of this that I forgot to address that part. So if you haven't been plugged into kind of what the far right has been talking about for a long time, you might have missed the whole idea that like the left is soy pilled, you know, filled with soy. And it's the idea that like soy and soy based products are filled with estrogen, and that is affecting the left. And the left is just feminized essentially by all of the estrogenic chemicals that the left ingests, right? Or eats. It's the idea that society has been weakened by femininity due to hormones in the waters or like some and usually this then gets connected to like some kind of like global conspiracy around like trans people or you know the great replacement theory or you know just the Jews are doing it. It's just bullshit nonsense, but it's also part of why the Make America Healthy Again thing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is pushing is also connected with the fascist movement. You know, there is this belief that our foods and water supplies, etc., have been contaminated by estrogen, and we need to go back to something pure. You know, you can think of like Dr. Strangelove, our precious bodily fluids. You know, um, y'all, if you haven't, go watch Doctor Strangelove. It'll prep you for the times a little bit better. Okay. Okay. Um. So we have this entire thing going on, and also worth noting that Will Coles Hill, and Resistance GB also retweeted this and retweeted Asmongold reacting to this. And Will Coleshill points out this is Frank Reiter being interviewed. Now, who is Frank Reiter? Okay? Who is he? Well, turns out he's a fairly influential, not influential, but like a well-known writer within political circles in the UK. And you'll notice this little tag next to his name, Life. What is that? Well, it's actually a link to lifesitenews.com, right? And it has this blurb on him: cultural critic, writer, and Catholic activist. Frank Wright is a traditional Catholic who lives with his wife and family in rural England. He is a cultural critic from the Catholic point of view with extensive experience in foreign affairs journalism for LifeSite News. His forthcoming book, A Brief History of Liberal Democracy, has been serialized in part on his Substack, where he writes on the relevance of social teaching of Leo XIII and the work of Pope St. Pius X to the state we are in today, right? It's like, oh, okay. That's pretty interesting, you know? And maybe we'll circle back around to this, but you know, he's typically yeah, he's pretty out there on what he believes. And we're going to circle back to this video eventually. Just keep this in mind. We might do a two-parter just to make this not too long. But just so you know, we know who this guy is. And he's not a nobody. He is actually quite influential in far-right politics in the UK, right? So, let's take a look now at Asmongold's take on this this video, right?
Okay, how many views has this video got so far? It's already had 1 million views. This is just a random... They apparently just randomly interviewed this guy on the side of the street.
So what has persuaded...
Just a random guy. He's just a random nobody. No. I love how Asmongold just does not give a shit about where his information is coming from. He just doesn't give a single goddamn fuck about what is happening here, or who is posting it, or why they're posting it. Why is this video getting hyped up by Nazis on Twitter?
Did you to come out today?
Well, we've driven up, my son and I, from Newbury, because obviously we can see the state of the nation and there's a national emergency, and we need to obviously think about the future. What kind of country are we going to have for our children? Or are we going to have a nation at all? Now, I'd rather live in a nation and not a market, not a borderless international supermarket browsed by mutually hostile strangers, not something that reduces us all to bargain hunters. We need to save the nation, and I think that Rupert Lowe's Restore Britain is the only credible vehicle to do that.
Jesus.
What was it that made
did
you come over? What were the issues that pulled you to Restore, and what was the moment?
Well, you can see that there's obviously there's the bankruptcy of the general liberal idea. There's the fact that you get a sense that the Western idea and the ideas we've had since the Second World War are winding down themselves. And at the same time, you can't escape the fact that we appear to be morally as well as financially bankrupt across the West, across Europe.
It's so interesting what he says here, right? Like, let's break down what he's saying, right? The liberal idea is breaking down. The post-World War II order is dying. Now, when he says the liberal idea, the liberal experiment has failed, this is a fundamental rejection of Enlightenment values. This is the idea that effectively the idea of egalitarianism, the idea of, you know, all people being equal, all people having the same rights, that these ideas are dead, that they have failed, and they have failed because essentially people from outside the country have come in and destroyed the heart of the UK. That's what he's talking about. And this idea that, oh, because liberalism exists, that means that culture has degraded. People have become more degenerate. What he's talking about is that gay people and transgender people have been like allowed to exist publicly, and he's saying that's a sign of the moral decay of the West. And then he just tells a straight up lie, which is that the West is financially bankrupt. Now, this is just a lie, because the West isn't bankrupt. Money is just concentrated into fewer and fewer hands. You know, in the post-World War II era, money and resources got distributed very widely for rebuilding efforts, for, essentially the reestablishment of, a kind of normal order, a status quo. And obviously, this had wide-lasting ramifications for the rest of the century. But the idea here that, like, all the money got used up, no, it didn't. It's why we have more billionaires than ever before. It's because the money got siphoned up into the hands of, like, a handful of bullshit artists who came around and said, hey, what if we did a bank but online? And then they made a bajillion quintillion dollars and decided that they were going to continue to consolidate that wealth until they had a bajillion septillion dollars. Like, that's effectively what happened here. We got robbed blind as a society by the richest men to ever exist, and they're continuing to rob us blind. But the idea that, like, the West is just bankrupt, no, it's just been taken by billionaires. Full stop.
And in Britain, that the whole system is in a form of crisis. If you like, what we used to call normal life has been replaced by a permanent state of emergency in terms of our social incohesion, in terms of demographic change, in terms of the fact that there appear to be no realistic solutions offered, and whoever you...
When he talks about demographic change, here, let's just break down what he said here.
Replaced by a permanent state of emergency in terms of our social incohesion, in terms of demographic change, in terms of the fact that there are...
In terms of social incohesion, what he's saying is multicultural democracy is a failure, because he essentially thinks that if you come from a different culture or have a different cultural understanding of the world, you cannot live together in a democracy. Or, frankly, I'm not even convinced this guy believes in the concept of democracy when he talks about the degradation of liberalism and liberal values, right? Because typically what that signals to me is a desire to regress to a previous time, like either fascism or monarchy of some kind.
I know it's not remotely the point, but look at how tiny this manlet is.
He is very small.
Appear to be no realistic solutions offered, and whoever you vote for...
But you know what? God also worked great things through David, and David was very tiny compared to Goliath.
Social cohesion is a racist dog whistle and kind of a joke.
I mean, yeah, like, the social incohesion thing is just bullshit malarkey, and it is... What this guy is saying is just gussied up white nationalist rhetoric. That's it. It is just... it's just, I can't stress enough the contempt I have for people like this.
The same mad policies get continued throughout your life, and that's what I've seen the last 30 years. And if it goes on, we're finished.
Oh, and demographic change, again, that's just new people came into the country. New people came into the country, and guess what? You know what? I was about to say, guess who they're upset about coming in, but genuinely, obviously they're upset about black and brown people going into the UK. That's obviously a huge part of it. But also, a lot of people in the UK are also pretty racist against other types of white people too. Like the Poles, for example, classically get discriminated against in the UK. So I'm not entirely, maybe I'm being too narrow when I assert that it's black and brown people here, because genuinely it could be a lot of other kinds of folks as well. So, let's keep going though.
Exactly. So what does finished look like?
What does finished look like? Finished looks like an economic collapse. Finished looks like spending all your money on foreign wars when nothing works in the country. Finished looks like you can't get a job for being competent. There's no sanity even in recruitment. We have a competency crisis because for increasingly ideological and insane reasons, employment opportunities, even training opportunities are restricted.
Yes.
There's one news story after another about why, for political reasons, we're doing mad things that bankrupt the country, that basically park people's careers, that exclude talented people of genuine principle from any area of influence whatsoever. And taken collectively, this is the politics and economics of national suicide. So it has to stop. And there's increasingly a sense, not just in Britain, but throughout.
Again, when he says people of skill and quality are being passed up in government, he's effectively trying to make the DEI argument, but in the UK. That's what he's doing. He's effectively saying, talented up and coming white men are being passed over for political reasons in favor of people that are demographically more advantageous to the people hiring, or that is what goes hand in hand with what this guy is talking about here, and every single racist in the UK knows exactly what he means right there when he talks about this.
The West, that something has to change, and I think that's only going to build as we begin to see the devastating consequences of the latest round of reckless warmongering in the Middle East.
All I am hearing is problems with capitalism, but of course he's making it a race thing. I am so tired of this.
Oddly, just as an FYI, right? I did look up to see, because like this went mildly viral. I don't want to overstate it, but there was an article in the UK about this in the Times. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Frank Wright. Yeah, here we go. And it was pretty interesting. Let's just take a look at their thoughts here. Here we go. In Makerfield, a reporter conducted a street interview with a Restore supporter, Frank Wright, who had traveled from Newbury to help the party's campaign. The impressively articulate Wright said Britain was facing a moral, financial, and diplomatic crisis. Whomever you voted for, the same mad policies had been enacted to bankrupt the country. Britain had turned into a borderless international bazaar, where the competent were excluded from employment for holding the wrong views. The Tories' worship of the free market had demolished traditional communities.
My mediocre mate can't get a job. Bloody diversity.
Yep.
He is blaming minorities on the actions white people do to themselves when unregulated.
I mean, essentially, yeah. Right? Thank you for the $5 super chat. But it gets worse here. Thus far, Wright probably spoke for millions, but then he launched into a diatribe blaming all foreign wars, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Libya, on Israel and the global Jewish conspiracy. Ah. Cool stuff.
Oh my god. He's just... Bro. Oh my god. He's spitting so...
Asmongold is gonna, eat this shit up. Like a dog in front of a bowl of dog shit.
So hard, yeah.
Which we should never have been involved in, but we're all going to have to live with those consequences. And from this summer on, we're going to see how bitter they are. And it's only going to get worse unless we change the system. And there's no real change that's offered by the parties of the forced consensus. That was the liberal establishment after the Second World War, and it doesn't work anymore, and it hasn't produced the utopia it's promised. It's produced a sort of hell on earth.
I love, it is interesting to me that every single one of these, nationalist dudes, whether they're in the UK or in the US, will go in front of a camera and just be like, multiculturalism has destroyed this country. And now it's a literal hell on earth for us, the racists. And it's there's no shred of self-awareness whatsoever, where they never look around and see that there are tons of people who are just actually, this isn't a hell on earth. This is my home where I raise my kids, and we walk to the playground and play with the neighborhood children, and it's actually all totally fine. But but instead they're just every moment of every day they're just those black and brown people coming and living here, they're just burning up with hatred, and you don't have to live like that. You don't have to live like that whatsoever. That's a hell of your own making, and it's a personal one.
A random guy on the side of the street.
He's not a fucking random guy. This is the thing. Asmongold just hides behind this shield of stupidity because he lives within the Nazi bubble on Twitter and just doesn't ever question it. because it's inconvenient to him to question it, because it would lose him a lot of viewership if he did. So he just allows himself to be the internet's stupidest man, the most gullible dupe that is able to get on with in front of a camera and basically try and make this all seem super based while having no arguments of his own and being completely and utterly ideologically incoherent whenever he actually gets asked about his positions. You know, he's willing to just nod along and say yes to any kind of fucking racist. And I think that's dangerous. You know, there's like I think that's pretty awful.
Canvassing for Restore Britain. Oh my god. Hey!
From which there seems to be no way out, but there is. There are people of genuine principle and genuine talent in this country. And the reason why so many people despair of that is because I think they've been systematically excluded from positions of power, influence, and professional advantage for ideological reasons that has bankrupted the country. But we have enormous human capital here. We're just not permitted to release it, because if you don't have the correct views, you don't get the job, you don't get any promotion. In fact, you might be harassed off social media and find yourself debanked, or at least your career is stymied.
This is
You know, it always within me prompts the obvious follow-up question, which is, what political views are getting people held back? Because, you know, it's all well and good to say that broadly, but what views? It's kind of like the question around states' rights. You know, oh, the South seceded from the from the Union, you know, in order to protect states' rights. And the follow-up to that is, what rights? What, the right to do what? What did they want the right to do? And so I just have to follow up here. What points of view, what views are not acceptable to say in the workplace? Because I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be, you know, the kinds of views and ideas that would immediately get your coworkers to, like, throw hands.
Asmongold is platforming misinformation by not researching these topics.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, Asmongold wallows in misinformation. Like, he thrives on it because he is the one who is misinforming on purpose. You know, it's inconvenient to him to know the truth.
Wrongs.
Unironically, we do, though. We do. Because only by knowing the mistakes of the past can we avoid repeating them. But let's keep jumping in. All right.
Is this V? I mean, it.
So what we need is a realistic economy, some return of human dignity to every area of life. Because, as I said, it hasn't just financially bankrupted us, it's morally bankrupted us too.
It has.
And we're looking at a state where you're going to live in a borderless international bazaar, a placelessness, if you like, an international nowhere land, where nothing means anything. Nowhere seems like home.
I love my country so much, but it's a living hell! A living hell! Like, you don't love your country, man. You're just a racist. You cannot conceive of sharing something you love with other people. It's crazy.
And where the essential value of human life is replaced with price, such as...
Bro, this guy, you're just doing this off the top?
Nah, dude, he wrote a fucking book on it. He's not doing it off the top of his head. But also, I want to point out the economic problems he's describing are a result and a function of capitalism. Like earlier when I was talking about how wealth has been consolidated into fewer and fewer hands, that's because of the economic system we live under. That's because of capitalism. Capitalism functions as a giant siphon for wealth.
I miss open borders.
We all miss open borders. We all miss open borders. You know what borders would never have done? You know what borders never would have done, chat? They never would have greenlit selling AI books like Barnes & Noble. Hashtag don't buy books at Barnes & Noble anymore until they stop selling AI slop. Okay? Borders would never. All right? You know who else would never? Half-price books. All right? We love you, baby girl. Don't you go anywhere. Sorry, that I did that did distract me. All right, back to this.
Like, this is really impressive. This is crazy, bro.
We see in awful things like surrogacy or 0 hours contracts.
I'm okay. Wait, I'm sorry. Like, oh god, it'd be wonderful if Asmongold does respond to my video. I would love him to actually respond substantively to it. Because honestly, the video he put out makes him look like a fucking bonehead. Makes him look like a big dummy dumb man. And I would just like for people to demand a little bit better. Anyway, this man is now going on to attack the concept of surrogacy. It's just like, oh, so people who can't have children shouldn't be allowed to have surrogate children? That's weird. That seems bizarre to me. I mean, it's not bizarre if you understand that this guy writes for like Catholic outlets and is a like Catholic advocate. It does make sense if you know where he's coming from. But if you don't, if you think he's just some random guy who has a beef with the concept of surrogacy, surely that should strike you as odd. Surrogacy? What the fuck? It's a white low fertility majority crisis? Jesus. It's not, guys, it's not even a fertility crisis. The reason you see a decline in birth rates is literally because underage children are getting pregnant less. That's a good thing. We need to find a path forward as a species that doesn't involve raping children. I think that's probably good for us to do, like to move beyond that period of human history where that was viewed as acceptable. The people trying to take us back to that, by the way, again, if you'll recall all of the very beginning of this video, who is pushed? What account is mainstreamed by the actual posting of the video? You can go all the way back to this interview, and oh, Russian garbage human, go to Twitter. Very first result is literally defending the idea of grown adult men finding underage teenage girls sexually desirable as like normal. Like, this guy and his content and the interview that made this famous are literally directly associated with normalizing attraction to underage girls. I don't know, maybe that should give someone like Asmongold pause for the kind of content he's elevating with that thinking.
Or the increasing degradation of, if you what you call a work-life balance. Finally, how many people actually do work? How many people are now dependent on the state, directly or indirectly, to the point where those...
Oh, and by the way, the reason a guy like this is against surrogacy is because he doesn't want gay people to have kids. Full stop.
People exceed the ability of the nation to actually make money. This is an economic doom spiral.
It is.
And so the more that you look at the problem, the more you realize that really we are facing a national emergency. And if you are going to take on the duties of the state, something more than self-interest or printing money for your own political friends, we need to do better than that. We need to take seriously the depth of the crisis that we're in, and we need people of genuine principle and talent to address that. And I think we've found them under Rupert Lowe and in Restore Britain.
This is just... This is you know what's insane is that this video has been less than 5 minutes, and I feel like he's communicated like 20 minutes of information. Really, like this is insane. It's nuts.
He hasn't communicated 20 minutes of information. All right, just as an FYI.
Asmongold calling into the line would make my day. I would love to see you, Jimmy, Matt, and Lux excoriate him. He never would though.
Oh, he never would. No. But like, this hasn't been 20 minutes of content. This hasn't been that. Instead, this is a guy basically trying to blame the problems of capitalism and like the ever polarizing level of wealth disparity in the UK and the United States, anywhere capitalism has flourished.
This
right?
is why we need more wingtips to counter the low fertility.
God damn it, Sake.
You know what slop gobblers like Asmongold won't do? Canvassing. Get
True.
your steps in canvass for a DSA or progressive candidate now. I got 11K steps in this weekend canvassing. It's good for you.
Hell yeah. You are 100% correct, Shootbang. But I wanted to talk about this because essentially Asmongold is just clapping like a seal here. Like, wow, he's conveyed so much information. But let's summarize what he's actually talking about. 1, the government has destroyed things. And they've destroyed things by allowing multiculturalism and like different groups of people to come into the country and with their different birth rates, and now white people might become a minority at some point. In fact, if we go back to our good friend here, Russian Garbage Human, who's again associated with this, you scroll down a little bit here, you find this particular video, or GIF, I suppose. And it kind of summarizes the kind of, fear-mongering that a lot of these far-right types in the UK do, which is, I want to stress, straight-up white nationalist racism. It's just bullshit fear-mongering, effectively. Like, the idea being here that, oh no, they are replacing us with black and brown people who aren't native to our lands. And, you can see here, goes up there. And that's kind of where this is at, right? But like, it's just, this guy has offered nothing except identifying economic problems, and instead of blaming the economic system for said problems, instead he's blaming black and brown people and like other undesirables for the breakdown of the system. And it's just not the fault of like multiculturalism and like different groups of people living in close proximity. That happens everywhere. The problem is that the economic model, capitalism, enables the consolidation of wealth to such a degree that then the people who have that wealth can buy political favors. And they often do it on both sides of the aisle, or build up two different power structures that effectively play off of one another, but are still largely playing the same game for the same donors. That's the problem. And if you are noticing that that is a problem, but you aren't then acknowledging the fact that the folks who have the money, the capitalists, are the ones playing the game, then you're failing to observe the bigger problem. You're failing to have a large enough view of the situation. And so let's take a look. Obviously, this video continues for some time.
And so, do you believe that essentially it's the rhetoric of blood, sweat, and tears that we need in this country?
No, I don't think we need any rhetoric at all. You see, that's partly the problem. For the last century, we've been ruled by the political technique of the liberal system, which is basically the rule by media. And what you do then is you use slogans and you use concepts and you attach people's hopes and dreams basically to messages for products that you're never going to deliver. That's how we're ruled. We are sold dreams. Our desires are stimulated by, if you like, the kind of ruling consensus. But none of these things ever happen. And instead what happens is what the elites want to happen. And so we get involved in these terrible economic doom spirals. We see the quality of our lives degraded as margins are shaved. Everything's subject to shrinkflation now. It's not just your chocolate bars.
And who is benefiting from that? Who is benefiting from that economic system?
That are getting smaller. It's
like he's speaking to the very real phenomena that people are being screwed over in the economy, that you're being given less and less while more and more is being demanded from you. That's real, but who is getting that more and more that is demanded from you? And the answer isn't, oh, all those dang immigrants. They're not the ones benefiting from the more and more that is taken from you at the supermarket. No, the people who benefit from that are the wealthy oligarchs. They are the capitalists. They are the ones propping up this system. It is the Elon Musks of the world, who I want to really point out here, if they were truly threatened by this kind of talk, if oligarchs really viewed this guy who's pushing for a farther right and more oligarch-friendly world, do you think Elon Musk would be sharing his interview? No! Elon Musk is sharing this guy's interview because Elon Musk is pushing for the same kinds of things this guy is, which is pro-corporate, farther right, more easily manipulatable people. That's it.
It's the value of...
It's not just the chocolate bars that are getting smaller.
Your wages.
It's the value of your wages. And he's completely right. So do you remember...
Yeah, and I wonder who sets the wage. I wonder...
Reese's peanut butter cups, you used to be able to get 4 of them, and then you would get 5. Remember that? Because the normal one would be 4, but it would say you get an extra one if you get 4, you get 5. You know what you get now? You get 4. Yep. You get 4 now. 2?
Genuinely, I think I need... I guess I need to dumb down the level at which I talk about economic issues. You know? I do, because if this is the level that is working for a lot of people, then maybe I need to resort to using more candy-based analogies. Like, I think genuinely maybe that's the case, right? Like, for example, if everyone is getting, their work earns a net total for the company of 5 Reese's cups, but then you are only given 4 Reese's cups, where did that 5th one go? Well, it was taken by your boss. And then your boss's boss's boss winds up with hundreds of Reese's cups while you just have the 4. And that's kind of how capitalism works, except that every day that happens until your boss's boss has billions of Reese's cups and you are barely making do with 4 Reese's cups a day. And God, you need fiber and like protein and like more because you're wasting away. You cannot subsist on 4 Reese's cups per day. It's impossible. So hopefully this has helped you understand capitalism a little bit better. It's a pet. Stop it. Don't. Get wise to the grift, friends. Get wise to the grift.
No. It was always too, like...
I understand what shrinkflation is, but also he is not understanding anything that is not framed through the idea of candy bars.
I was a kid. It was always 2. You could get the 2, or you could get 5.
your ability to earn a living. It's the kind of job that you have to do so. Usually a kind of dignity-free environment, right, where you're slowly choked to death by the lanyard and its terms and conditions. So if we have just more empty rhetoric, we're not going to get anywhere.
Exactly. Yes, it's just more bullshit.
You need...
I, also understand what this guy is advocating against, right? This guy's advocating against, the existence of multicultural groups and multiracial groups, right? That's what this guy is advocating for. That's when he says liberalism has failed and it has failed because of multiculturalism and demographic shift. What he's saying is effectively the UK got too non-white and we need to make it either white again or we need to make it white again by deporting millions. What he's advocating for is a violent ethnic cleansing campaign. And Asmongold doesn't really think about the knock-on effects of that. He doesn't think about what that would mean, what that would entail, the amount of violence, the amount of destruction it would bring, both economic and physical, and of course moral as well, to engage in an ethnic cleansing campaign. But that's what this guy is advocating for. And Asmongold is either too dumb to understand that or willfully ignorant on that point. It has nothing to do with race. He has absolutely already tied it to race. He's talked about demographic shift. When a guy like this talks about demographic shift, he's talking about race.
Credible people of genuine integrity and experience and ability, who are committed to some higher purpose than themselves, than their own personal enrichment or their own mad ideological faction. We need a sense of higher purpose to see beyond the predicament that the real buy media has delivered us into, because it's delivered us all into a fantasy world that's turned out to be a nightmare.
Do you remember what I said? The hyper reality. This is exactly it. Yes, the hyper reality that everybody gets forced into. And it's all a lie. And it's being enforced by corporations and media.
The wild element of this is, again, when you look at the origin point, why this video even got popular in the first place. Why was it? It was because a billionaire who owns this particular platform hyped it up to millions of people, and Asmongold saw it as a result. And now he's talking about the hyper reality. It's all a lie. Brother, you live in the hyper reality. You exist wholly and entirely inside of an ecosystem built by a guy who did a Nazi salute multiple times and has made his entire presence online about boosting white nationalists and Nazis. And you are over here being like, yes, the hyper reality. I'm very intelligent, while living inside of his billionaire fucking bubble. Oh my god. The lack of awareness is crazy.
The whole reason why we have woke on the internet is because of corporations. It's because of corporations and money.
And those adverts, if you like.
I'm sorry, what?
Have woke on the internet is because of corporations.
Okay. No. And I know this because I've been around long enough to know that he's full of shit. Alright? Before there were major, corporations, guys like Asmongold still existed on, YouTube and various forums on the internet, okay? And they were all upset about LGBTQ people existing back then, too. They would just make fun of people on Tumblr. They'd make fun of, the places where people felt more free to be themselves, to be openly gay, queer, what have you, right? That has always existed. And even before the internet, places like that existed. There's a reason why San Francisco was known as a, debauched lair of sin and villainy. It's because, LGBTQ people could, live there openly. And you know what? Bigots back then hated San Francisco then too. You know? Like, the idea here that like, wokeness only started because corporations pushed it on the internet. No. Like, y'all were hating woke people back in like the 60s, back in like the 30s, back in like the late 1800s. Like, conservatives like you have always existed, clicking their tongues at like woke people who opposed slavery or who fought for LGBTQ rights. Or, you know, there's a reason why Martin Luther King Jr. died the most hated man in America, and it's because people back then, like Asmongold, were around.
It's because of corporations.
Yeah, the Satanic Panic, another one. Yeah, excellent.
And money.
And those adverts, if you like, for that system that Francis Fukuyama described as the end of history, the liberal system, he said, periodic elections plus cheap consumer goods. And that was the final verdict on the organisation of mankind, and we could never do any better. Well, it hasn't delivered, has it? The elections have delivered political paralysis in Britain and in France and in Germany, the major powers of Europe.
Yeah.
And so what's that electoral system doing? It's ground to a halt. And the economics of this, if you ask conservatives who basically market worshippers, if you sit next...
I'm so glad that they're hitting this on every point. Because he's totally right. Yes. Their market, exactly. Like, oh, you care about money. It's about money.
To them and say, look.
It is about money. For the people pulling the strings on this game, it is about money. Right? Like, you have to understand, for people like Elon Musk, it's all like a vanity game. You know, who can be the first trillionaire? Who can like make their stamp on history to last the longest? It's all a vanity game. And they're all trying to make the most money. No capitalist is content with just some of the money. They push for all of the money. That's what they do, right? And so I don't know. Asmongold is missing the mark on this one by a lot. Bloody Roses, thank you for the 1,000 jewels.
Can I
You've destroyed our nation, replaced it with a series of light industrial sheds, increasingly staffed by third world...
Again, it baffles my mind that, like, Asmongold is following and liking tweets from Zoomer Historian. Again, a guy who engaged in Rhodesia apologia. Like, that's crazy to me.
Migrant labor. What has that concerned?
1 second. Let me link you guys the video. This is the original video. There. Yeah, retweet it, post it. I think this is the guy that posted, I'm not sure. Okay, I missed that part. Let me go back.
It's ground to a halt. And the economics of this, if you ask conservatives who basically market worshippers, if you sit next to them and say, look, you've destroyed our nation, replaced it with a series of light industrial sheds, increasingly staffed by third world migrant labor.
It's not about race, though. It's not about race, but you know, the real problem is all of this third world migrants coming here to do work.
I will never understand what people see in Osmo. He has utterly no understanding of anything that comes out of his mouth.
It's genuinely baffling, right? Like, there should be a higher standard here for people who are watching Asmongold shit. Like, respect yourself enough to, like, get, like, a better input here. Like, I also just want to say, again, from my perspective, right, a bunch of people coming to do work and to live alongside you, share their culture, share their ideas about the world, that's something that makes a country stronger, right? It literally makes a country stronger to have a larger
remember
workforce.
The fake meat outrage of the 2010s. The Satanic Panic.
God damn it, Saki. You're too good. You're too good. And thank you for subscribing. But, you think it's about race because their country of origin means they have dark skin? Well, it's partly about race, but I also did clarify at the top of the show that I'm sure that this guy is the kind of racist UK man that also is very like against different ethnicities coming into the country. You know, the kinds of folks who are all about the Anglo-Saxons but hate the Poles with every fiber of their being. You know, like that's the kind of vibe this guy gives off, and frankly, that's the kind of vibe most racists in the UK give off. All right. Um, but the idea here that people who want to come into your country to do work is a bad thing. I want to remind folks that like labor is literally a resource. It is a vitally important resource for work to get done. You can't do work without labor. There is not a finite number of jobs in any given country. There's just not. You can have a like an expansion of available jobs to meet the amount of labor you have, which in turn nets benefits down the line. That's the relationship. Labor does work, and work has value. The more labor you have, the more work can get done, and the more value you can generate for your society. The ideology that he is pushing right now is literally an economic dead end that will result in the destruction of the UK. Right? That's the irony here. The irony is that this guy's view on the economy, on what is destroying the UK, if he had his way, he would cut the workforce of the UK by like like a fourth and deport hundreds of millions of people, devote exponential amounts of resources to like detaining people and sending them overseas. And in turn, who's going to benefit from that? No one. The economy is going to shrink, less work is going to get done, the UK will be worth less, and in turn, there will be less value to be redistributed to folks via social safety nets, like, you know, the National Health Service. Like, it is just a way to effectively get the UK to kill all of its social safety programs, and then you guys can live in the same kind of capitalist hellscape that the people in the US live in, where you guys get to get denied for, you know, pre-existing conditions, and where you guys get to navigate a privatized healthcare service. That's the end result of an ideology like this guy's. It's economic suicide.
Light industrial sheds increasingly staffed by third world migrant labor. That just about says it, doesn't it?
They've allowed so many immigrants into the country, the core infrastructure such as NHS has crumbled. No, NHS has crumbled because it has been systematically defunded by conservative groups over like the last 20 years. In turn, it has also been privatized in parts. The degradation of NHS isn't because of immigrants who work and contribute to the general UK economy, who actually generate more wealth and income for services like NHS. It is because of the systematic deregulation of NHS and the destruction of it at the hands of the, you know, conservative government. I mean, you can frankly look at what they've tried to do with like trains in the UK just to see what I'm talking about. Y'all tried to privatize some of your train networks. It worked like shit. You went back to being publicly owned and used.
Yep.
What has that conserved? It's demolished everything. Everything that they claim to believe in about Burke and his little platoons, about traditional communities and traditional values, has basically been suborned to market worship. And
it's because they only cared about it to make money. That's why.
Pure profit. We need something more than money. We need something more than empty ideological slogans. We need real change for people's real lives, for a change. And I think the crisis that the West generally is facing, politically, diplomatically, morally, and financially, gives you the opportunity to make the kind of deep-rooted change that you need to save the nation.
Yeah. What
and use me next, please.
Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono. But also, like, the change that this guy's talking about, again, is just mass ethnic cleansing, frankly.
You see, this is man. This guy's English? Yeah, see? Is this person real? Yeah.
And where is
It's
it you think
John
that
England?
reform
Yeah.
has fallen into, these traps are falling for this? Because obviously you've chosen restore over reform.
Yeah.
And you've already mentioned the Iran war. And they obviously want to back the Americans.
Well, this is a difficult question to approach.
He wants to save the nation from what, though? That's the thing. He wants to save the nation from third worlders coming in to do labor in the country. Oh no. Not people who want to come in and do work and build lives. The horror.
If you're not the kind of sad person with no life like me who actually gets into this, but the Americans didn't choose that war freely on their own, did they? They've admitted severally, their own chief diplomat Marco Rubio and many others, the leader
kid
of the
going
House.
behind him who's almost as tall as he is making me laugh.
Oh yeah, that's his kid, by the way. Like, Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs. It is funny to see just like the head bob in the background.
And have said that this was a war for Israel because Israel was going to launch that war. And so the real fundamental question is who basically rules the United States, because that war is definitely not in the national interest of the Americans. In fact, I personally predicted this along with others at the beginning of January. This has led to a strategic defeat of the United States. It's broken its military presence, its credibility. It's now seen as agreement incapable. That means in diplomacy, nobody believes your promises. So no one's going.
Yeah, I mean, he is right about this part, but like literally any dumbass could look at what the United States has done from a geopolitical perspective and identify that Donald Trump fucking bumbled right into a fucking trap and is now making it worse with every day that passes.
Going to make any deals with you because you constantly break them, and what's worse with that, you then assassinate the people that you were trying to make the agreements with in the first place. Incidentally, the straits were open before you did this, and you killed the man who placed a religious prohibition on the development of nuclear weapons, and then your big idea is to bomb everybody so they love you. I mean, this is insane. It doesn't make sense. There's no interest in the national interest at the political elite level in the West, whether it's in the United States or whether it's in Britain or whether it's in Europe. And that's the reason why these political parties are seeing themselves decline dramatically in popularity, because they're not delivering for their own people.
Now, I do want to make clear one thing, which is that he is essentially also asserting here that, the United States didn't choose this war because Israel controls the United States. Now, that's just not true. It is one of the ways that like certain far-right folks are trying to justify, what has happened. They're trying to like dissociate Donald Trump's decision and like absolve him of any kind of culpability in making the decision to invade Iran or to attack Iran, right? But Donald Trump is the leader of the United States of America. And frankly, he can just tell Israel to fuck off and do whatever he wants. The power dynamic is not Israel controls America. The power dynamic is America controls Israel. And the reality of this is, maybe it's Donald Trump sundowning hard, but you cannot divorce Donald Trump and the far right from this decision. It is something that they have wanted to do for a very long time. It is not something, it's something that if Donald Trump wanted to, he could end it today. He could end it right now. And he chooses not to, right? He chooses not to. It is not true that the United States is controlled by Israel. Donald Trump is doing this to flatter his own vanity. And I do think there is some truth to the idea that maybe Israel tried to convince him and may have successfully convinced him that this would be easy, that this would be short, that this would be an easy success like Venezuela. But now we're in the quagmire. And now it's making him look bad, and he's still continuing to double, triple, quadruple down on this, right? So I think that it is, again, an indicator of Frank Wright's views when he brings this up. And, you know, I think maybe we'll get there eventually in this clip.
He's right about that. Like, that's the reason why. Is that you have a lot of people that, like, I mean, again, like the Iran war, like, a lot of people get mad about this or whatever. I will tell you this. I don't care. Like, like, the Iran war is like a minor issue to me. It really is. It's a minor issue. Like, the important issues are like making sure that people are able to, you know, grow up in a country where they're not a stranger in. People being able to have jobs, etc. Like, I don't really care about this a lot.
Yeah, because when have oil prices ever affected what jobs people can get? When has the global oil economy ever caused, like, I don't know, a significant downturn in economic prospects on a global scale? When has that ever happened? Except so many different times throughout, like, the last 50 years alone. Also, Sake Tanuki, thank you for the 2 tier 1 subs. What is this? Yeah, I mean, when did this run? This literally ran 3 days ago. Once a partner in the war, Israel has been largely left out of the peace talks, a humbling setback for its prime minister with significant risks for the country. Well, I mean, I do want to say this also attributes a large degree of, like, validity to the peace talks, which I am not at all convinced by. Like, I gotta be honest, the peace talks, I think, are just a full-on scam. Like, I'm not entirely sure what the goal is with these peace talks, but I don't think, if there is one, that it's achievable for the United States, number one. And number two, like, just earlier today, the United States did defensive strikes across Iran, despite there being a ceasefire allegedly in place, despite there being a 95% negotiated deal, with just another 5% related to, you know, uranium enrichment and the Strait of Hormuz, you know, the two biggest things. So, like, I view what is happening right now as effectively market manipulation, you know, in an effort to, like, change public opinion on what's happening in Iran. For example, it was Memorial Day weekend this past weekend. The defensive strikes took place today. It's Memorial Day right now. And I just think that, like, a lot of the, oh, we're negotiating, we just had big talks, all of that to be followed up with a strike on Memorial Day, to me indicates they're not serious. They're just playing the markets. The more the war gets dragged out, the more Iran wins. Exactly. Time favors Iran here. The longer they can strangle, like, the global oil economy, like, the more damage they economically do, like, the better off they are having established a deterrent effect. And, like, I think Donald Trump knows that, but I also think that he's just trading on making news and making a shit ton of money. The level of stock trading right now in the United States government from officials like Donald Trump is off the charts. The level of corruption is insane. Like, the number of trades being made by Donald Trump literally caused, like, one of the long-term analysts over at Fox to, like, have a conniption. I forget what his name is. He's the guy that's on, like, all of the trading, the money shows. I don't watch those enough to actually know his name, but I know he's famous. You guys, I'm sure one of you is gonna tell me what his name is in, like, 5 seconds, but we're gonna move on. If somebody can get me that clip, though, I'd be grateful.
So if I hear something that I disagree with, it doesn't trigger me or get me upset.
Jim Cramer. Yes. Someone get that link for me, please.
Because there is a larger, greater goal here that exists that transcends a individual war. I don't care about that.
The way that they rule is for the interests of the rulers, not the ruled. And you can see that there, because these wars are mad. And it's not just the Iran war. These wars are mad from the point of view of the national interest of any Western nation because it didn't deliver anything for them other than misery and chaos. And in fact, if you look into the history of regime change, not only did it come about because of Benjamin Netanyahu saying that he wanted the West to...
Seem to care all about the Iran war, though it could just be you cover it and state your opinions. Well, I care about it, right? But, like, the thing is that this is my outlook, right? Is that it's not important for me to get complete alignment with people that I think are generally on my side. Even though I disagree with his conclusion of, like, what the Iran war is, this person is fundamentally on my side. It's obvious they're on my side. So just because there's a difference in a difference of opinion in a specific topic, that doesn't really matter a lot to me. Because there's 500 other topics that there isn't a difference in agreement, opinion on, right? Does that make sense?
Place diplomacy with the war on terror from 1979.
Ah, found it. Thank you, chat. Appreciate it. Let's pull this up here. Here it is.
What's it, the president, the U.S. government got in. They could sell it and give
yes,
that
and
the
according
number.
to the filings, the president's been trading some intel in the quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, trade.
Got nothing to say about it?
Well, yeah.
All right, don't worry. We're not having technical difficulties here, everybody, but we got to go.
Jim, we'll see you tonight. Mad Money, 6 p.m. Eastern.
I do need to watch it one more time. I'm sorry.
Well, the president, the U.S. government got in. They could sell it and
yes,
give that
and
the
according
number.
to the filings, the president's been trading some intel in the quarter. Yeah.
Yeah, trade.
Got nothing to say about it?
Well, yeah.
All right, don't worry. We're not having technical difficulties here, everybody, but we got to go.
Jim, we'll see you tonight. Mad Money, 6 p.m.
Yeah, it turns out ever since he got into office, he has been trading like crazy. And since on May 8th, he filed over 3,100 additional trades on the stock market off of information that he is privy to as President of the United States of America. We have the President of the United States of America personally trading on information known only to him. This is the kind of shit that absolutely needs to get every single politician that engages in it sent to fucking prison. I don't care if they're on the left, I don't care if they're on the right. Every single politician, if they get caught doing this shit, like they have Donald Trump dead to rights on right now, this should get you sent to prison for life. This is a betrayal of the country. If they're all doing it, they all should go to prison. Oof. Clown Royale, thank you for the gifted sub. Appreciate it.
But when it went on to do this,
I mean, every single legislator should be barred from stock trading. Every single person, every governor, every senator, every state senator, every congressperson, like any staffers that work in politics, all of them, like consultants, barred from trading in stock.
Did it produce? The reason we have a mass migration crisis in Europe is because of the wars in the Middle East that the United States has wholeheartedly fought, which serves only the grand strategy of the Israelis. That's the reason why you had millions of people come into Europe in 2015 from Syria. That's the reason why, as Colonel Gaddafi predicted in 2010, he went on French...
He did say this. Gaddafi did say this.
television and said, if you kill me, Europe will turn black. And then in Operation Odyssey Dawn, when they did kill him, when Hillary Clinton and David...
Oh, it's not about race. He literally says it's about race.
Cameron killed Gaddafi.
Europe will turn black. The horror!
Rather brutally, Europe did turn black because Libya was a gateway that wasn't open then, and so was Syria. And then so is Iraq. And so when you smash these countries, what happens? People flee and routes are established, and that becomes a business. Mass migration is a criminal enterprise. It's a racket. People pay thousands of dollars to be shipped into your country.
And by the way, that was proven. And like, obviously, I don't think it's entirely true because people from Pakistan and India that are there too, right? But like, either way, like, remember all those people that were saying that they paid a bunch of money to like an organization to like get them shipped over?
His trust holds an ETF, JPI, JPQ, more fake news. He literally is mandated to do financial disclosures. And look, you can actually access them as you are a member of the public. Here it is, released in all of its glory from the United States Office of Government Ethics. And wow, look, it's fake news. No, you can literally access this on your own. You don't need me to like facilitate it. It's available to you. It's why they're talking about it in the Wall Street Journal, in Fortune. It's why they're talking about it in all of the financial news. It's because the president is mandated to disclose this information to the U.S. government. He's got to do it. It's the law, and it's one of those laws where, weirdly, as a rich guy, he feels compelled to actually follow those particular laws.
Or to, what was it, Portugal or something like that, in order to work there? Yeah, exactly.
This becomes a parallel economy. It's part of the corrupting influence of the business of mass destruction itself.
You can blame it all
and when
on me.
Oh, God.
people are beginning to see that now because they're seeing that it's going to make changes in their pocket, the price of their petrol, the availability of their food through the scarcity of fertiliser. The cost of living is going to go up. Governments like the Labour Party, and probably like Reform, are going to borrow more in order to defray those costs, which will further devalue the value of your money.
Or, you know, you could tax the wealthy. Like, all of this is predicated on, well, you know, we're going to have a financial spiral, and it's all because of the immigrants. Instead of pointing at the very obvious way you could fix this problem, which is by taxing the wealthy so that they pay their fair share. That's how you actually fix this problem.
Honestly, I don't understand why he even bothers with his filings anymore. Who's going to come after him? The IRS?
I mean, I do think that there is an element of him that is afraid of being held accountable post-presidency. You know, I think he has kind of accepted that he is not going to be around for a third term. Like, if for no other reason than because of age. And I think that he is, to some extent, afraid of some kind of consequences for his fucking around. He's worried about the finding out part of that.
Making it harder and harder to survive. It's a death spiral. Fundamentally, the decades of regime change wars that I've seen have changed one regime more than most, and that's our own. Because I remember when we used to live in a sane, functioning, stable, and relatively happy country. And now it's terrible. And all these policies have been undertaken which have created this nightmare. And it's the political consensus that was formed after 1945 that's done this to us. And the reason...
I'm glad that he's bringing this up, because I do think that this has all been created because of the Nazis and Hitler. I think that's the reason why Europe has this internalized sense of guilt for allowing everybody into the country. It's because they got totally one-shot by Hitler. And because now Hitler was so bad, they think that anything in terms of not letting infinity people into your country is the same as Hitler. And decolonization? Yeah, exactly, right?
That's one of the most politically incoherent things I've ever heard in my life. Like, that's not what the political order was post-World War II. Like, they got one shot by Hitler, so to speak, and their resolution there was that they would never allow fascism to rise again. that was kind of like the compact that they arrived on, as, as far as you can, generalize all European nations, right? And that doesn't mean that they were like, we can never control our borders again. That's not what that means. What it means is adopting hardened democratic values that reject any kind of fascistic veneer or aspiration, and move forward into the future, leaving that in the dustbin of history. Now, I do think that more countries should be open to allowing immigrants, because I think immigration is a net positive for basically every country that accepts immigrants, right? Immigrants perform labor. Immigrants share their culture. They diversify the pool of ideas in a way that can have some massive benefits. Like, there's a lot of reasons to embrace immigrants to your country. And the idea here that you shouldn't accept immigrants because otherwise you're playing into the guilt of allowing Nazis to defeat your country. This is weird. This is weird. I don't think it actually reflects any real insight or values at all here. I think this is just Asmongold looking and stretching for like a convenient excuse that doesn't actually require him to apply any critical thinking.
Millions of white men died too because that stupid war. Well, I mean, overwhelmingly, that's what it was, right? I mean, cool. Like white guilt. Yeah, exactly. Dude's waited his entire...
Millions of white men died in that war? Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, they're just like straight up, like they're just being straight up white nationalists in his chat.
Our life to be interviewed? Yeah, I guess so. It goes back further to the 30s. No, again, like I have no interest in like going back and like saying like this is when it happened, or like, yeah, Weimar Germany or where the fuck. Mike, I get it. I understand what you're saying, but like it makes, yeah, it's a deep seated fear. Yeah, exactly.
And why none of these parties have any answers to these problems.
That was exclusively the Germany. The rest of Europe had no part of that guild. I think that they do. It seems to me like they do. I don't think it's that simple. Obviously, Germany is the main part of it, but I think it's other places in Europe too.
Yeah, all of you self-hating Europeans, constantly racked with guilt for losing to the Nazis during the Blitz. Yeah, how dare you guys have internalized that? That's why you guys have liberal democracies. How dare you? Those aren't liberal democracies out of a love of democracy. Those are guilt democracies.
Is because
can't be because they hate fascists. Must be because they feel guilty. That's the only explanation for the democracy. That's an actual insane argument to make.
Are the problem and not the solution. And if they ever name the fact that it's their policies that have caused this, they're finished. And I think reality's making that argument now, and they know they're finished. And this is why you see the elites in the United States cashing out through series of well-documented financial trades timed to statements always made on Fridays just before the markets closed, like we saw yesterday, saying that peace is coming. This is so bad that the federal security...
Yeah, because they're trying to protect their investments, and they're also, yeah, like, you're just describing the mechanisms of capitalism, but aren't actually identifying the problems as related to capitalism. You're just blaming all of the problems of capitalism on Black and brown people, literally. And like, I want to remind everyone, this is maybe one of the oldest tricks in the book. Like, when you look at companies and bosses in the period of time, after the Civil War, for example, in the United States, you had bosses developing this idea that like, oh, no, we can't pay you white workers anymore because these black guys are coming to work for us, and they'll work for even less than you. They're coming for your jobs. And like, instead of turning the ire from like workers that were coming together to ask for better wages. Instead, those early unionizing efforts were broken by these appeals to racism. And it's the same fucking thing from like the 1870s, just rearing its head again in 2026. Like, yeah, I mean, it's genuinely the same fucking excuse that racist Confederate businessmen, ex-Confederate businessmen, would give to their workforce about why they couldn't be paid more. Oh, and yes, Clown Royal, it's still a big tactic today to use to like bust up unionizing efforts, to play off different elements against one another so that against each other so that the union falls apart, right? It's a whole thing.
His commission is investigating the President of the United States and his inner circle for insider trading now, because it's obvious. So you're ruled by something that looks very much like a fanatical crime syndicate that does things that destroys everyone's lives, makes these wonderful promises to them, whether from the left or the right. But in the end, what you get is chaos.
And you don't get what you voted for.
And open borders and mad slogans and the outright denial of reality. And it's not good enough because we have to live in the mess they made.
What's the Twitter for Frank?
Yeah, the Twitter is Frank Reiter, R-I-G-H-T-E-R, Frank Reiter. And inevitably, depressingly, I have a Substack. And I do videos for LifeSite News.
Absolute fucking patriot. And again, you might disagree with some of the finer points on this. You might think...
Just want to really, again, reiterate, the guy that he is following and liking for this post is literally a Nazi that I've covered in the past who does apologia for Rhodesia. So, again, if you guys would like to check out that video, it's on my channel. Maybe I'll link it in the description. It's quite something.
That there are some things that he's wrong about or whatever, and that's totally fine. But at the end of the day, I can look at this person and say that this is a person that's on my side, that is on the side of Western culture, that is on the side of, you know, continuing to, you know, be able to have countries and have sovereignty. And at the end of the day, that matters to me 1,000 fucking times more than the opinion about the Iran war, right? Or something else. I don't really care about that one thing. There are a lot of other things that go into that, right? And so yes.
Hearing you don't get what you voted for from Asmongold has got to be a cruel joke.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is what he said. This is the guy, right? And I'll link you guys his account. Oh, this is just a post I've seen. Another final crazy moment. You want to see it? Okay, give me 1 second. Let me look at that in just a second. Besides the whole Iran war is coming on point. Yeah, I mean, and again, like, that's... The thing is that he's going to have his own opinions on that. That doesn't really matter. Like, what matters to me is that there's an alignment on the ideology, right? That's it. The liberal West has normalized the reduction of human life to a financial transaction with surrogacy. This explains why BBC describes an Afghan man trading his daughters into sex slavery to defray his debts as a difficult choice. Moral nihilism in cause and effect. Man. What a guy. Ukraine is resuming its status as a hub for trafficking of women and children. Surrogacy is a major driver in this trade of human life, being the hire of women to produce babies for sale.
Jesus. So, again, here's Asmongold realizing, maybe this guy wasn't just some guy off the street like I initially portrayed.
Conservatism, transphobia, and Zionism better be in the DSM-6.
God, they gotta be. They gotta be. Like, this is some genuine brain-rotten, mushy bullshit. You know? Like, this is some pretty terrible shit. And also the fact that, like, Asmongold's just eating up the anti-surrogacy thing like it's a normal point for someone to make.
Man. And he's a Catholic, obviously. I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but that's it. The update on that is wild. I know, it's actually just bleak, though. It is. Is there one more people want me to look at? Oh, what is? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! No! Not another one of these. Here, let me finish this before I do it. I do have to say that this guy. I mean, again, we have so many of these guys that are inside of politics, and really, I mean, I think that there should be more acknowledgement for the fact that there's a lot of these average guys that are just well-spoken, thoughtful people that want to see the country be a better place, right? I mean, that's it. And I think fundamentally, that's where he's at. That's where it matters. And
Yeah, he's just one of those hardworking guys. You know, one of those hardworking white nationalist guys in government who's working to make the country whiter. You know, he's one of those guys who you can really count on in a pinch. You know, if you're white. Like, you know, we need more people to set our government white. I mean, right. Like, man. It is truly incredible that the degree to which this guy is normalized on like Twitch, on YouTube, all that, and he's just straight up echoing Nazi talking points.
And awfully, you chose to have unprotected sex. You sell your children. Fucking disgusting. Well, it is disgusting. Of course, it's disgusting. And interesting tower.
That's not. Okay, so the right's conception, no pun intended, of surrogacy is that woman goes out, has unprotected sex, and then decides to sell the fetus growing inside of her. That's not how surrogacy works. I'm genuinely baffled. This shit is degrading to listen to. It is. Like, it is frankly insulting to all of your intelligences that we have to pay attention to this. Unfortunately, this guy is one of the most viewed individuals in far-right content. This was uploaded 16 hours ago. It has 711,000 views. His channel has 4.5 million subscribers. It is truly depressing how popular this racist slop can be. We're almost done, though. We're in, like, the final minute.
Or Babel picture? Well, I think that the goal is right there. It's pretty obvious. Tell the truth to shame the devil. Yeah, please link the video again. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, I can link the video again. There it is. And there it is. It's kind of based. Yeah, he's extremely based. And a lot of people have talked about this post so far, and I'm very glad about this. I'm happy about it.
I'm really glad about it. I'm happy about it. It's so cool. Like, this is the kind of shit shared around by members of the KKK. Like, this is some genuine, real deal Nazi far-right bullshit. And I'm really sick of people giving this man a pass because he did World of Warcraft content back in the day. You know? It's a broad term to be saying, I don't know, you know, when the shoe fits, you know, what can I say? If you don't want to be labeled with such a broad label, maybe don't be embracing neo-Nazi white supremacist dribble. The hyperbole of talking about KKK and Nazi is old. I'm not being hyperbolic. I don't know how much clearer I can be. It's not hyperbole. I've been on the internet. I know where the seedier corners of it are. I can go there and I can find people talking about this shit. I can find the people who are sharing it. And in fact, the people sharing it in Asmongold's video are fucking Nazis. So worth pointing
I called
out.
Asmongold a poss recently, and my friend wanted me to substantiate it with evidence. To summarize, I didn't have a lot of concrete stuff, and the out-of-context excuse was used a lot.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like a lot of people on the far right these days have been relying on long form content specifically to give themselves those kinds of defenses. Oh, you're just clipping me out of context. I hope that I'm providing you guys enough context on this video to let you guys know that I'm not developing my opinions on Asmongold out of context. They are fully in context. And what I find is absolutely abhorrent to basically any human being of conscience and moral fiber. Why are the ACLU and other liberal funds funding the KKK? Well, fun fact, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about, in particular, the Southern Poverty Law Center. And I have talked about this on stream before. But the Southern Poverty Law Center, one of their first actions as an organization was specifically geared towards taking down the KKK. In particular, the Southern Poverty Law Center, throughout its early years, paid informants within the KKK to specifically be able to back cases and civil suits against the KKK while feeding information to the federal government about the extremist group's actions. So very specifically, the actions of the Southern Poverty Law Center led to the downfall of the KKK. They got bankrupted by the Southern Poverty Law Center because of the actions of the SPLC and the actions taken by the FBI. These are well documented, these are well known, and frankly, the narrative that you're engaging in right now is directly downstream of the fact that Republicans think you're too stupid to look up the history of the organization yourself and are instead feeding you lies, banking on the idea that you're too young to have heard about this as it was all happening, which anyone who was alive at the time would have been able to tell you is exactly what went down. So, anyway, it wasn't just the Southern. Yes, a lot of organizations paid informants within far right.
Otherwise, these
groups.
fascist fucks will gain even more power. Make the fascists sad.
Indeed. Make the fascists as sad as fucking possible. Make them so sad they go elsewhere. You know? Lady, you're assuming a lot. I don't know. I feel like the person making assumptions and not knowing their history is you, but you know, I could be wrong. Maybe you're an expert on the SPLC. All that being said, folks, we've come to the end of our segment. If you got anything out of this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about that. Was that an exciting up-and-comer in politics? Or was that some racist drivel? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. And also, consider sharing this around because you know it helps the channel grow. Share it around. Say, hey, what do you think about this? I'd love more input. And also, folks, organize. That is the future of any good, well-meaning political movement. You got to get organized in your communities. It's not enough to just know the correct politics anymore. You have to be acting on those politics. So join your local Dems, join your local DSA, get involved in making your Democrats not shit and making your DSA more effective, okay? Let's organize the working people of this country and actually get a country and a government that works for us instead of the wealthiest people to ever exist. So, all that being said, get organized, join our Discord if you need help taking those first steps. We can help set you up with your local DSA, reach out to Gamergy, or with your local Dems, reach out to Dragonfly. We've got professional organizers who have been doing it in their organizations for years, and they're willing to put their expertise on the line to help you. So make use of that. We want people to get involved. And all that being said, check out ImogeneOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes. Also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. It is comfortable, non-tucking lingerie. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. Link down in the description. And let's keep on going. Oof. We did it. We did it. Segi complete. Peacer, thank you for gifting or becoming a member, rather. Appreciate it. That doesn't explain why I was called names and assumptions asking a question. Because there are hundreds of people watching this show right now, and I do not assume good faith from people who come into the vertical chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I don't have the patience to have a nuanced, in-depth conversation with everyone who comes into chat. Usually because anytime I attempt to do so, they wind up being a bigot who insults me or someone who's basically just trying to waste my time. So yeah, apologies if that is not accurate to you. I asked the question, how does that explain how the SPLC and others were funding them recently? Again, to collect intelligence for the FBI. That is literally what they've been doing since their inception. They pay informants because informants do dangerous work inside of those organizations that they would not do if they were not paid. Let's see.
Are you gonna upload the Spirit Science segment? I need to rewatch that cause I was busy at the time.
Yeah, eventually. It's one of those things that is kind of like evergreen content, so a lot of the content that we've been making that's more timely has been going out first, but it will come out. Otherwise, you can watch the VOD. The VOD is available on the channel. Excuse me. Also, folks, if you've been enjoying the show, hit that follow button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, do the things. Because we've been going for over 2 hours now. If you've been enjoying the show, you know what to do. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, do the things. We got a song to let you know what to do. Go, go, go. Click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button. Click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click the button, click the button, click the button, click the goddamn button, click button, click Also, Lamau, that's not the issue. It's the fact that they didn't tell or disclose what donations were used for. If you're donating to an organization that literally made its name off of bringing down the Klan with paid informants, chances are you know that some of your donation is going to go towards paid informants. I'm sorry. I've already explained this to you. If you cannot understand, I cannot help you. The baseline gets me every time. The baseline on the fucking Click the Button song is so fucking good. How have they brought it down if it exists? It had to file for fucking bankruptcy. It's the reason why their membership went from tens of thousands to a handful of people in the middle of bumfuck nowhere with like a membership of 300. That's how. They made it irrelevant. I don't know, maybe learn about some of the history that you're talking about. I guess I have talked about this already. I don't need to educate you again. It's not an ethics issue if you're paying informants to like end end the extremist group. That's not an ethics issue. Let's see. But it's not over clearly. Do you know what informants do? Like, do you understand what the purpose of an informant is? Like, it's so that there's somebody in the organization that collects information for... I guess I should insult your intelligence. You're the stupid one here. You're the one who's saying, why groups still around if destroyed? Because they rebuilt. Bigots are gonna bigot. But the reason they went away for such a long time and ceased to be relevant was because the SPLC bankrupted them in a series of highly publicized legal battles, bankrupted the Klan, broke their infrastructure, broke their ability to operate out in the open, and also, in turn, continues to have informants within various extremist groups to this day, so as to report those groups and any imminent action to the FBI in order to prevent attacks, violence, hate crimes, etc. Like, their work is widely known and respected. It's just a political machination to attack enemies of the president. Because the president has a lot of support in these areas of the country and with these extremist groups. Strange that. But, I would not expect somebody who is incapable of understanding the situation or the history to understand any of that. But I'm not going to indulge this anymore. Sorry. You can go waste somebody else's time. Like, I don't know. At a certain point, you're just carrying water for the Neo-Confederacy, and I won't have it.
If we beat the Nazis in WW2, how do we have such a big Nazi problem today?
Well, in part because we already had a big Nazi problem in the United States during World War II, you know? Famously, people like Lindbergh, Henry Ford, etc., big supporters of the Nazi Party. You know, Henry Ford's Dearborn Independent was a national newspaper, and it was fully on board with Henry Ford's anti-Semitic conspiracy theories that were in line with those of Nazi Germany. You know, he was awarded the medal by Hitler for his work in America with things like the Dearborn Independent, right? Like, we've had a Nazi problem for a long time. Also worth noting, the Dearborn Independent was at one point, I think, like the second most circulated newspaper in the United States. Just as an FYI about that. So, like, the Nazi seeds were sown long ago. And in some corners, a lot of that has continued to persist. I mean, like, Operation Paperclip, like, obviously directly brought, like, Nazi scientists over from World War II, but, like, I think it's a much bigger problem that we had homegrown Nazism in the United States. You know, you had the Nazi rally at Madison Square Garden, you had, like, Nazi summer camps, you had, like, a whole lot of, like, Nazi shit going on within the United States. And after all, the United States is where the Nazis got a lot of their ideas for eugenics from in the first place. And so, like, a lot of it is homegrown. You know, Operation Paperclip really consisted of maybe, like, 10,000 people total, and that's if you include like the families of people who were brought over via Nazi paperclip. But yeah, I mean, it goes hand in hand a bit.
We integrated Nazis into the USA with Operation Paperclip and the Marshall Plan. Nazis got into CIA and education and corporations. Also SS survived.
That's a lot of people. I mean, it's like the total number of like scientists was like 1,600. Obviously, some of them had families. But I think the bigger problem is like Americans were already in certain pockets of the country predisposed to Nazism and were supportive of it. You know, it only really changed for some people in America after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and that's only because Japan was
Love when I
aligned
try
with
to do a joke
Germany.
and it spirals into something. Thanks for the ever-growing content, Jack.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I don't know. Feel like we're having good conversations. Also, Nathan, thank you for the $5 dono. And folks, we are at 165. If we make it to 300, we're gonna watch the Stephen Colbert public access TV special, which is pretty damn fun. Good time. And with that, are you guys ready to dive in to the Daily Wire's rock bottom? Guys ready for that? Max Danger, thank you for the gifted membership. Very much appreciated. Thank you so goddamn much. And let's just take a quick look. How many likes we got? Ooh, chat. Chat. For shame. For shame. I even played the hit the button song. We have like 370 some people watching in YouTube chat right now, and we have sub 200 likes. For shame. You guys, you can hit 250. I know you can do it. Why are you gay? Let me strap my boots on so I can wade through the coming torrent of bullshit. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Why are you gay? I don't know, man. Have you seen women? They're fucking hot. Who is gay? Wait, who is gay? Me. I am gay. Hell yeah, we love women. It's true. Women be great. And you know what? As a pansexual or bisexual, I also like men and non-binary people. Oof. Love it. Love being attracted to all kinds.
Why are you trans? I dunno, man. It feels good having tits.
It's true. It does. All right. Let's do it. Let's load up these videos. Here we go. Go. All right, folks. Are you ready? Are you ready to soar? Right over the pit Daily Wire has dug for itself. Oh, God. Are we ready? Are we ever ready for the Daily Wire? Probably not. All right. Here we go. So, folks, we gotta talk about the fact that the Daily Wire has really hit some new lows. And you can kind of tell across all of their programming. But I wanted to focus in on two examples, right? The first example, of course, is Michael Knowles. Now, Michael has been doing kind of okay. He's been trying to do these different like spin-off shows where like he and Matt Walsh will like laugh at mean things that the internet has said about them, and or like shows where he does like drinking games with people on the left in crowded bars where people just yell at at the people who come on the show. It's weird. It's weird, right? But he's also kind of devolved into essentially, you know, how sometimes, and maybe this doesn't apply anymore in the era of streaming, but like sometimes back in the 1980s, 90s, you might wind up staying up too late, and you'd wake up on the couch and eyes bleary. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning, and somehow the like sci-fi show you'd been watching, like Star Trek: The Next Generation rerun or something, or like a Godzilla late night film, um, had stopped playing, and instead there was a like telemarketing show, not telemarketing show, but like, like one of those, hey, call in and buy shit shows. Basically glorified infomercials, but like a kind of like a TV program mentality to them. And then there would be the subgenre of that, which is effectively an infomercial, but for Jesus. Well, Michael Knowles is at the very bottom of this hierarchy, now doing infomercials for Jesus. And here you go. Here's an example. This was uploaded yesterday on a channel. Want to stress, Michael Knowles has about 2.59 million subscribers. This video was uploaded yesterday, and it only has 12,000 views. But here's what he's up to these days.
The fight is more bifurcated and difficult, and the billion-dollar with the B abortion industry is more robust than it's ever been. These people are brilliant. Now, they're going to end up alienated from God forever if they don't come to Christ, which is our prayer. But in the meantime, we've got to rob them of their business, and that's what Preborn is here to do.
I am very, very pleased to be joined by the great Dan Steiner, the founder of Preborn. I tell you about Preborn, I don't know, every other day or so. This is one of my very, very favorite organizations. Dan, thank you for coming on the show. Wonderful to see you. I extol the virtues of Preborn every day, and almost every day. And it really, no flattery whatsoever. This is such a great group. I encourage people to give whatever they possibly can, especially now, because you think with the overturn of Roe v. Wade, okay, this is all great. We've solved abortion, but we haven't. Actually, abortions have gone up because of this technology.
Also, just worth noting here about Preborn, just as an FYI, in case you're wondering, what is this? They have, of course, a pre-existing relationship with Turning Point USA. And they're pretty happy to talk about it. Here is this same guy talking at Turning Point USA, because of course Turning Point USA also has an entire faith division to talk about their explicit Christian nationalism.
Is he saying pre-whoring 'cause I do that every day?
No, preborn. The state we were all in before we came out of our mama's wombs,
Rise of the abortion pill and fighting back at the state level by the leftists. So what is going on in the pro-life fight?
It's more than you've ever heard, and this is going to be, you can actually break this across the Daily Wire, that this whole thing about so let's back up to the turning over of Roe versus Wade a few years ago. The year after it turned over, there was 80,000 more abortions. That wasn't supposed to work, all that we had hoped for in the 50 years of praying for the overturn of Roe versus Wade turned out to not be the fact. There were more abortions after. Why was that? Because of chemical digital abortions to digital natives, millennials, Gen Zs, and alphas who get their package from Amazon and their entertainment and their friends digitally, and now they get their abortion digitally. And so the greatest fools in the world, I call them fools because the Word of God says here on Theology Thursday that the fool says in their heart there is no God, like the Ford Foundation, the Bloomberg Foundation, the Gates Foundation, the underwriters of global abortion had this figured out that Roe would fall. And so they stood up a telehealth network and they stood up chemical digital abortion, the abortion pill, which, by the way, is a misnomer. It's not a pill, it's 2 pills.
Oh my God! It's 2 pills! Oh my God, we're cooking here. Abortion pill? More like abortion 2 pills, and they're difficult to swallow because they come with sin.
You know this, Michael. It's misoprostol and misoprostol. And so they were ready, and it increased afterwards, particularly in the friendly environment of the Biden administration, which through COVID set up mailing of drugs through the U.S. Postal Service, which is strictly, by the way, prohibited by the Comstock Act, even today, and they're still doing it. And so then the following year, there were 100,000 more, not 80. And then 2025, we had the highest abortion year we've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's almost like clamping down on the right to legal abortion causes an uptick in people taking going out of state to go get abortions. It's almost like the effort to criminalize abortions is, in fact, not going to stop them from happening.
And so it's going the wrong way. He said, well, but Louisiana and the Fifth Supreme Court, sued the FDA and McCarry quit and they're going to stop misoprostol. And here's the revelation. It doesn't matter. If they were to stop the mail order of, look, let me qualify this comment. We're the largest pro-life organizations ever existed in humanity, all right? I'm the chief cook and bottle washer of this puppy. And if they stop the mailing of misoprostol and outlaw that, they can't be sent through the mail, it gets worse. Let me tell you how. Because the second drug is Cytotec, misoprostol. Misoprostol kills the baby. Misoprostol ejects the baby through dramatic uterine contraction, sometimes even rupturing the woman's uterus. That second drug, Cytotec, is not regulated. They're ignoring it. So right now,
oh no. But also, this just isn't accurate information. This feels like somehow, even though this guy is in charge of an organization that opposes abortion, doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I'm speaking as a clinician, okay? We got 100, 300 of them across the country. Right now, the abortion industry and the and women are stockpiling the second drug.
Yep.
Cytotec.
Yep.
Misoprostol. So that they can still have abortions because it's not regulated. And so it's kind of a misnomer. Imagine politics actually doing something that's not relevant.
I mean, misoprostol is quite literally used for other purposes, like kind of like how different hormone medications are used for different purposes. Like I know, like spironolactone, for example, can be used to treat acne in some people. Like there are a lot of different uses for this medication beyond just
I feel like
what
I
it's
would have
used for
heard
in
if
abortion
Plan B
cases.
ruptured internal organs, this would have been a much bigger deal.
Yeah, but you know what else can rupture internal organs? Like severe contractions that women have naturally. Like that is also a risk for like normal like labor contractions. It's there are uses for this medication beyond abortion, which is why it is like not regulated around abortion.
event.
Right.
This is the essence of it, frankly, not just the fact that it's the um, art of compromise by definition, but then when they do finally do something, usually it doesn't matter, and then 2 years later it's turned over anyway.
There's a lot more to say. First, though, go to preborn.com/Knowles, KNWLES. There are moments in life that change everything.
See what I mean? Like the vibe of this is just, have you ever considered Jesus Christ? Have you ever been walking around not knowing what to do with yourself? Lost, alone, scared, confused. But then look beside you and seen another pair of footprints in the sand. You haven't been alone this entire time. You've actually been walking with Jesus Christ. And now for the low cost of one silver crucifix. And that is, of course, I mean to say $250.99, you can finally buy the crucifix that allows you to see Jesus Christ. Call 1-800-CHRIST-RIGHTNOW.org. That's right. Call 1-800-CHRIST-RIGHTNOW.org. And we'll get you hooked up with giving us money so you can truly see God. Like that's like the that's like the universe we are in right now, right? With Michael Knowles effectively just shilling.
Instantly. Sometimes it's planned, sometimes it's unexpected, but for a lot of families, few moments are more emotional than finding out a new baby is on the way. And I've done that 4 times now. For some women, however, that moment is not filled with excitement right away. It's filled with fear, uncertainty, questions about whether they can handle what comes next. That is why organizations like Preborn exist. Preborn helps connect women facing unexpected pregnancies with support, encouragement, and free ultrasounds. That ultrasound matters more than people realize because when a woman sees her baby and hears that heartbeat, it dramatically increases the likelihood that she will choose life. It increases it by more than double. So Preborn helps provide real practical support for mothers.
I love that this is like, oh, Preborn provides practical support for mothers when literally their entire program, as already revealed by the founder itself, is just get women into a fake clinic, give them an ultrasound so they see like something that they can vaguely identify as a human inside of them, and then try and manipulate them into not getting an abortion. That's like the support services places like this offer. It's not actual medicine. It is not medical treatment. It is not helpful to these people in any way. And it relies on trickery.
Maternity resources, counseling, baby supplies, diapers, clothing, and ongoing care to help women feel prepared instead of alone. This is one of those moments where even a relatively small contribution can make a real difference. $28 provides 1 ultrasound appointment, $140 helps reach 5 mothers. I personally support this organization. I strongly encourage you to give what you can. Those moments can change lives for both the mother and the child, really the whole family. Get involved. Dial pound 250, say keyword baby. That is pound 250, keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/Knowles, preborn.com/Knowles. Right. I have heard the etymology of politics being poly, coming from the word for many, and ticks coming from the word for blood-sucking leeches. So, we don't want to have too high of a hope for political outcomes, but this is
nothing but trickery from you. Hey, I haven't set up a fake medical clinic to sucker women to think that they don't need like the medical intervention they're seeking.
This is actually worse than I expected.
Nobody knows this.
Wow. So what do we do about it?
Nobody knows how medical abortion works, says guy who knows that many women know how medical abortions work.
We reach them online and we tell them the hazards of taking this drug, and we get them in and see their baby on ultrasound, and they choose life. It doubles the likelihood. So our
Why would you choose to kill the baby? One, because it's not a baby, it's a fetus. It's a clump of cells. Number two, because giving birth comes with life shattering risk. Like, a not insignificant number of women die during childbirth, die during cesarean section. Like, it is a big risk. You know, like, women bleed to death when giving birth sometimes. I've had friends who have come very, very close to dying while giving birth. Multiple people that I know and care about a great deal have come very close to dying in ways that have permanently, like, scarred their bodies. And the idea that, like, you should just, well, oh, you got pregnant, so you have to take that risk now. No, you don't. No. And number two, like, even if you granted that they were an equally grown human being, right? There is no circumstance on earth, if you believe in the concept of bodily autonomy, that you can make an argument that, like, giving that up is ever required. Like, we allow, like we give corpses the right to decide whether or not, like, we don't give corpses. We give people the right to decide whether, after they die, when they're a corpse, if their organs can be donated to people who are, like, dying, right? And we respect their decision, even if they say, no, I don't want my organs to be used to save other people's lives. But we don't respect the rights of women to say, I don't want my organs to be used to keep another person alive while women are alive. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. We give corpses more bodily autonomy than we give women. Also, if you're relying on the idea that, like, guess what? Some people, well, what if you carve out an exception for, like, in the case of rape or incest or medical necessity? Those carve outs aren't real. They aren't functionally actionable. None of them. Right? And people who argue for this generally know that, but some people don't, which is that, okay, so in the case of rape, how long does it take to get a rape case through court? To establish beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law that rape took place? Most of the time, it takes longer than 9 months. Oops. Guess we missed that window. What about a case of incest? Kind of the same thing. Usually takes longer than 9 months to have that case adjudicated through the courts. And when we take a look at medical necessity, who's deciding whether or not an abortion is medically necessary? Because it's not the women getting the abortion. It's the doctors, right? And who is financially and criminally liable for that abortion if they choose to give it? It's the doctor in the hospital. Which means that even when you have these exceptions, hospitals and doctors don't want to perform that medically necessary care because it could mean that they get charged with murder in some states. It could mean millions and millions and millions of dollars in some states. And so instead, they just don't provide that care. So that's kind of the problem here, right? Which is that you don't actually functionally have any exceptions, and also you're just absolutely obliterating any concept of bodily autonomy.
Great endeavor, Michael, through the wonderful listeners of the Michael Knowles Show. Thank you. If you're listening to Michael, apart from the fact that we're trying to sort out whether a theologian can actually advocate cigars, apart from that fact, you guys have been champions for preborn, and together we have saved thousands of babies, Michael. And I wanted to thank you on your show personally for having had a chance since I seen you back at the Daily Wire a few years ago. And so,
well, the
this is
pleasure's
what
all
we can
mine,
do,
and
but we also can.
the pleasure's all mine,
FDA
and
know
I
about
have the
this.
easy part here, Dan, is the other thing, because it's an easy product to sell. The product here being the opportunity. $28 doubles a baby's chance at life. Everybody's got $28 that they can give, and if you have more, it's just a great. As far as I'm concerned, it's a great investment.
Invest in babies today. Only $28 to save a baby. You, sir, won't you give to save the babies? Like, it's genuinely, this is some, like, Christian 3 a.m. infomercial shit. Like, I cannot stress enough.
For a whole host of reasons, which involve the natural world and also the supernatural order. This is just a great way to use our money. So anyway, I should thank the listeners too, because the listeners are the ones who are actually doing this. And so a crucial aspect is not just going out there and giving your money, but which is important too, but also getting the word out. Also even recognizing how daunting the challenge is, and not to be lulled into a state of complacency because the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade and abortions went up.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. And the fight is more bifurcated and difficult, and the competition, $1 billion with the B abortion industry, is more robust than it's ever been. The abortion pill allows them to further penetrate their deadly chemical coat hanger into every girl's mailbox in the globe, frankly.
Jesus, the chemical coat hanger. Yeah, what's particularly sick about that particular comparison is, again, if you deny people safe and effective access to abortion care, they will turn to the physical coat hanger. They will turn to more harmful, more invasive, more deadly forms of abortion out of desperation. We know that because we lived through a time period where that happened already. And those who refuse to learn from the past are condemned to repeat it. How many more women have to die to satisfy, like, these people's, like, perverse social experiment? I don't understand.
United States, we're talking here, with lower overhead. They don't have to have a building. They don't have to have a doctor. They don't have to pay insurance. They don't have to pay electricity. So their profits go up. And, these people are brilliant. Now, they're going to end up, alienated from God forever if they don't come to Christ, which is our prayer. But in the meantime, we got to rob them of their business. And that's what Preborn is here to do. And you guys have been champions with that. And so that's kind of a more...
Yeah, I mean, that is the case, Nene Goblin. Like, they don't care. Like, again, folks on the far right who push stuff like this, they do view women as naturally inferior, and that their sole God-given purpose is to create children. And so if some of them die in the process, that's just a sacrifice to the gloriously perfect Almighty God, right? Like, it's a sacrifice these folks are all too willing to make because, of course, they believe they'll never get pregnant.
Than you were expecting. Sorry about that.
It's a sobering lesson, and it's a crucial lesson for people to get, because I knew it. I knew when the Dobbs decision came down, I knew it was going to present this crazy challenge for the pro-life movement, because we were kind of like the dogs who caught the car, but that wasn't the end, and in many ways it's not that
what's crazy to me is that they are willing to admit, like, yeah, we did overturn Roe v. Wade, but, it turns out people really wanted abortions this entire time, and they didn't just stop once different states made it illegal. So how do we go forward from here?
It didn't improve things. It did improve things from the level of constitutional jurisprudence, but it just coincided with the challenge actually getting more daunting. So anyway, Dan, you're doing God's work. Preborn is doing God's work. Everybody out there needs to go over right now. Give what you can. It's a really, really great group in a world saturated by charities and nonprofits, many of which on the left are getting, USAID money to put on, I don't know, transvestite ballets in the Philippines or something. This is a place where your money is going to good work. Dan, thank you so much for...
Yeah, doing the good work of setting up fake medical facilities to trick women. Yeah, you're not going to pay for those transgender ballets on the other side of the world. You're going to pay for elaborate local theater setups for the express purpose of tricking women to thinking they're going to be able to get abortion care. Oh God, it's genuinely awful to even exist in their frame of reference for any given amount of time, because everything they say is just so hollow and so hateful and seeks so much more power and control over people in society. Why ballet specifically? It's one of the talking points they got from like the Doge cuts, like the things that the Doge people were saying that they cut were like, oh, we cut USAID, and USAID was paying for insert thing on the other side of the planet that like got like 10 grand once years ago or something like that. Like it was genuinely, it's genuinely some stupid horse shit that they're using to justify cutting, billions of dollars from food aid programs that were saving hundreds of thousands of lives per month. But, this isn't the only low point that the Daily Wire has been experiencing, of course, right? Like, Michael Knowles out here hawking religious infomercials. What's Ben Shapiro up to these days? Let's take a quick look at one of the latest uploads to the Ben Shapiro channel. This is from 2 days ago. It has 42,000 views. And it's titled, "We Made Ben Shapiro Play Fortnite."
Steps on your screen. Oh, someone right in front of you. Aim downwards, aim downwards.
Oh, there's a guy.
Okay. Oh, someone else killed him. Oh, you got ran over by a car.
Wow.
I think this gave me cancer. I think I'm dying. I think this is the last hallucination that plays through my brain as it shuts down.
You have to explain to me what this game is, why it exists, and everything. I know nothing about this other than I've seen a bunch of dumb children doing a dance that they call the Fortnite dance.
Who likes Fortnite? We like Fortnite! We like Fortnite! We like Fortnite!
Other than that, I don't know anything about it.
So Fortnite is a genre of video game called Battle Royale, where a bunch of players drop out of the sky, land on an island, and you pick up weapons and you fight each other until there's only one.
This is like a 6-year-old vid? Is it? Because it was uploaded 2 days ago on his channel.
Person standing. Fortnite is one of the most popular games to ever come out. At one time, they recorded, I think it was like 45 million players playing it once, with like hundreds of millions of downloads. We're gonna have you drop in. We're gonna see how you do. I'll teach you how to play it.
Okay.
Before we start, I think you should choose your skin.
Let's see, you got Stormtroopers, you got Vader, Han Solo. Okay, you got like the full Star Wars complement.
I'm a big
here.
Star Wars guy.
Yeah, no, me too.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm very tempted to use Palpatine.
So they're openly marketing to kids now. This is like when they complained about Drag Time Story Hour.
I mean, it's not even like Drag Time Story Hour, because that's something that like parents wanted to go to it and kids liked it. Because kids like people in silly outfits reading them stories and doing voices and stuff. This is worse than that, because no one fucking wants this.
But instead I'll go with young Harrison
This is him trying to relate to the children's.
Ford, probably.
Wow.
Wow. So let's push X.
Okay.
Choose him. Now push circle. Perfect. Now we'll push this button here 2 times. Yep. 1, 2.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so now this is the warm-up. You got 52 seconds. So you can see you walk around, move around. X is going to be your jump button. Perfect.
Wow. Why?
And then
Running into a tree.
running into a tree. Woo! Now you're in the water.
You can swim. Okay.
Please help me.
Interesting.
So if you want to use that
Ha 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 ha. If we edit more video bits in, we'll all be having a good time, right? Ha 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 ha.
look button to look the other way, you'll turn the other way.
You can float and swim at the same time.
You can dive. Okay, interesting.
So now we're in the bus.
Oh, that's hot.
All the players that are in this lobby, 97 of them, are in this
Whoa,
bus.
okay.
Yeah. So at any point that you choose, you're going to push the X button.
Okay.
And you're going to.
Yeah, this is very clearly trying to like rope in like the, I don't know, 13, 14-year-olds on YouTube, and I don't think it's gonna work, but I've been dying internally. As Ben Shapiro is dying, so too am I dying.
I'm out in a parachute. And I'll show
What
you
are the other?
those,
What are the
but-
other controls?
So you use your stick on the left. So I'd push X now so that you free dive. There you go. You can use your stick on the left to kind of move around, see where you want to go. If there's any place that looks interesting, your look button. See if you could look down the other way. The controls are.
Yeah, so far I'm doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great. It's great. Way better than I did.
You're really good at falling.
This isn't flying, this is falling with style.
Just like socialist policy, it's all fun and games until you hit the ground.
Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna jump over that wall using X. Good. I try to look in front of you.
Yeah.
All right, so if you look to your right, there are some bullets on the ground right there that you could pick up.
Interesting.
You push. There you go. Oh, there's your first gun right there, that green thing. So you're gonna want to go next to it and push square.
As a Gen Z guy, I'm currently cringing at this because I grew up with these memes. Yeah, that's the thing. It's basically, what if we took the most boring Let's Play imaginable and sprinkled in Gen Z memes, but there's really no rhyme or reason to it, and it just feels like a huge amount of dead air as Ben Shapiro dies inside, recollecting the time he used to be called the cool kid's philosopher, and now he's been reduced to this, having to fire half of his company while the rest continues to burn, because he now lives in an era of conservative politics that he never thought he would actually see, which is the, of course, complete immolation of the party in the name of fascism. Something he always thought he could ride the edge of, and did successfully for a while, but now he's lost a lot of his use value to the far right, and his entire operation is crumbling.
You have to move around a little bit. There you go. Okay. Now push the R1, the top right bumper. Now you have a gun in your hand.
Oh, okay. And how do I shoot this gun?
You push.
Wait, is Ben wearing a yarmulke? Yeah, he's Jewish, guys.
Push the bumper under that one, R2, and then you aim with L2.
Pew.
L2 is.
Oh, you're.
Ben is always wearing the yarmulke, guys. He's Jewish. Like, he always wears it. He's never not wearing it.
You're getting shot at. You better run. What? Someone right in front of you. Aim downwards. Aim downwards. Oh, guy right in front of you.
I'm dying. Help me. Shoot.
Oh, someone else killed someone. Oh, you got ran over by a car.
Wow.
In a little bit, I'm gonna try to get into teaching you how to build in this game, but first let's learn how to aim and shoot and that stuff. All right, so there looks like there's some guns on the roof of that building if you want to land on that roof.
There's beer as well.
What?
That's not beer.
Those are bandages.
That's first aid.
Stay thirsty, my friends.
Can I pick it up or no?
Yeah, you gotta walk until, there you go, now you can push square.
Okay.
Now the gun I think is to your right, so let's look to your right. There you go, it's a pistol.
Oh, that's not good. Wow. This is going so poorly.
Okay.
You gotta check your
Man, he's literally never played a video game before. It's crazy.
surroundings.
You gotta, every game you're gonna get a little bit better until you finally, like, successfully shoot somebody.
Anything's better than that, though.
You just got roasted!
That was truly quite terrible.
That is true.
What do you get if you win?
People who have no hopes are easy to control.
You get to pat
That's it.
yourself on the back, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's a video game. I forgot. I was not much of a video gamer when I was young. I like.
Wow. None of us could have guessed that.
But basically, my video game experiences ended with Quake.
With Quake?
It was like 1996 PC.
Dude, if you played Quake, you should know how to play a game like this.
This guy's good. Whoever's playing this guy's good. But look how like tuned in he is.
This game came out when I was in high school, and it was like extremely hard to get a win because you're going against 100 other players. So every time I would win, I would like post it on my social media. I'd be like, hey, let's go.
It turns out that, as you found out at the Daily Wire, that's not equate to upper income trajectory.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
You just end up playing yes or no with Michael Knowles.
Exactly.
First of all, Professor, I'm really glad that they allow underage drinking on this show now. That's really great that they... 12 years old, that's outrageous.
Let's see where you can land.
Where is away from people?
You want to just go, you just want to
Yo, Baldur's Gate 3 is insanely good.
land like in the middle of the forest. You see,
Yeah,
you see all those trees down there, those yellow trees?
Yes.
Try to land like in those yellow trees.
Okay, sounds good. Because if there are other people, I'm gonna get killed immediately.
Online shopping has created one of the weirdest modern rituals. You find the exact thing you were looking for, you add it to your cart, get all...
I don't need Ben Shapiro to sell me Shopify. Thanks.
First.
I should have done a round
Yeah,
first?
we have to see what it looks like when someone who knows what the hell they're doing does this. Okay.
Okay, so that, you found your first chest. So that's a chest. You gotta back up from it a little bit until it says to hold square. Try to look at it.
Like, part of the problem is all of these references are completely irrelevant to, like, anything that they're talking about. It's just short reference. You remember Lara Croft? Ha ha ha, chests. Ha ha. It's just making up for, like, the complete lack of personality and banter going on between these people.
More. Like, gear your camera to look at it. Down a little bit. Not jump on it.
So close. Why not?
Back up a little bit.
I'm literally right here.
Now back up just a tiny bit. There you go.
There you go.
Wait, no, forward a little more. A little more. Back up.
This is retarded.
It's just like surgery.
See, Ben's one of the cool kids. He used a slur. He used one of the cool kid slurs. That's what makes him so cool, guys. Hey, fellow Gen Zers. What's shaking? I also say slurs. Like, he's so relatable like that.
Dude doesn't need a chest cavity.
You got it. Oh, you had it. You see how it pops up? There you go. Now let's see what came out of it. Oh, you got a nice.
Okay, that's good.
It's like teaching my grandparents to use Skype. It really is. It's incredible. Ben Shapiro is so out of touch with these videos. It's ridiculous.
Pick this up now. I feel like that would be useful. This is what I want.
There you go.
Okay, and now I switch
Now, you also picked up a shield. It's that blue jug that you have. So type the R1 again 2 times. 1, 2. Now push the shoot button. So essentially, you drink that, and it gives you an extra 50 HP.
So good and tasty.
Okay, so just drank a goldfish.
Yep.
Now he feels better about his life.
Where are you? This looks like The Last Samurai.
If he does not shoot me, I will kill him.
They change this map like every few weeks, and they just add a bunch of new stuff to it. A few weeks ago, they had like Darth Vader's lair. Oh, you're getting shot.
Take cover, Ben. Take cover.
Hide behind the tree. Hide behind the tree.
You look like a woman, but your name is Jack. Yeah, that's because sometimes you know how sometimes women can be named like Charlie or Stevie. Like sometimes women have unconventional names. I'm a woman whose name is Jack. What are these references? What, you mean a Last Samurai reference isn't timely? That movie only came out like 3 years ago, right? The Last Samurai. Oh no, it came out 23 years ago. You know, at least 10 years older than the age demographic they're trying to target with this.
They're shooting from behind you.
Other side of the tree. Turn around. There you go.
Now,
Look
remember,
up a little more. There you go.
Okay, do you see that brick wall right there? I think he's behind that brick wall. Right there.
Point down.
I see. Okay. I'm not used to these controls.
There you go. I think he might be.
You want to wait for you?
You're gonna wait him out. Oh, he's to your left. You see the footsteps? He's to your left. Hard left. Hard left. Hard left. Yep. That brick wall right there.
Shoot the brick.
Brick killed a guy.
Yeah. Try to run around the brick wall. Yeah. Cut that. But when there's noise, like right there, that's shooting, it shows you the direction the shooting is in.
Okay.
You know what? We started with 100 people and there's 45 left, so you've survived half
Hiding
the
in
lobby.
the forest.
Hiding in the forest.
Actually,
that's good.
Maybe Ben Shapiro's trying to make his way as a humble Let's Player from here on out. This is his future post-politics.
Quite a good tactic.
It is.
Just gonna run around the forest. Yeah, it's Endor.
Yeah, this is where we're just gonna run around for a long time and just not see anybody. Because this map is so big that you're only gonna see people if you go to like the really highly contested areas.
There is a storm coming, and not a one of you is prepared for it.
One of the mechanics of this game that makes the action like...
Wait, what fucking movie was this? I don't remember this. What is this from? Is this from the Kevin Smith movie? The one about the cult? I feel like I should know this one.
Is prepared for it.
One of the mechanics of this game that...
Yeah, it was like, was it Red State?
Makes the action like a lot more intense.
It's not Benedict Cumberbatch. It's the guy who played Zod in like the newer Superman movies. I don't remember the actor name.
There is a circle on the map that you have to stay inside of. On the top right, you see there's like a mini map right there.
Yes.
That white line right there that's slightly curved is like part of a bigger circle that you have to stay inside of.
Okay.
Michael Shannon. That was who that guy is. Blueberry Bumblebees is correct.
And if you look to the left of it, you see that kind of like pinkish purple.
Yes.
On the bottom of the map. That's the storm
I think you die.
moving towards you, and you die.
Bro sucked that Quake bet. Yeah, no kidding. Like, if this is how bad he is at Fortnite, can you imagine him trying to play Quake?
Okay, that seems bad. Okay, let's not do that then.
Like, Quake is such a fast-paced game. How could you possibly be this bad at Fortnite? I don't understand.
How do you know how many people are left? Is that the number up top?
So if
there are 27 people left.
27
so somehow
people.
I've.
Wow, look, he caught on it. Yeah, it's good.
He's just been hiding.
This is a good strategy, the hiding.
You've almost made to the top 25%. If we win a game just by staying away from everybody, that would probably be...
I've coined a new strategy at that point.
You realize you've been doing this wrong your whole life, Jacob.
I have been. I've been like just throwing my control at the TV. Yeah, no one's there. If I see someone, I'll tell you. There's some more guns on the ground to your left you can pick up. Oh, okay, you gotta shoot that guy. That's a monster.
Okay. Run!
Shoot him. Move! Nice. You killed one. The one on the right, shoot him. Nice.
Killing spree.
Okay.
Nice little squat there.
The look button, tap it, push it down once. There you go, now you're standing up.
Brother,
I feel like that might explode.
You slimed me.
Oh, look, it gave you some more heals. So if you pick up those cans on the ground, you can splash yourself with them and heal up. There you go, push square on that. Great, now push the right bumper 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Now throw that at your feet. So look down and throw it at your feet.
That would not be my first instinct.
There you go, throw that at your feet. Shoot button. Not that, one more, there you go. Shoot button.
What?
That's the aim button,
Okay.
shoot button. There you go, R2. We got one more. Good. Now you have almost complete health.
How do you dance?
How do you dance?
Oh god, how's this? How? This feels like a goddamn eternity. It's like they harnessed like the time dilation effects from an event horizon on a black hole and changed it into a video. Like, I don't even know how that's possible, and yet here we are. It feels like it's been a goddamn eternity. We're stuck here forever, chat. The closer we get to the end of the video, the slower time passes.
Push the down arrow button on your control, and then you use the right stick to select one of the dances on the... Yep, choose that one.
Oh, God.
But why?
Can't tell by the way I do.
But why is he dancing? I don't understand.
The reason they
How
added
is that useful?
Man, the real reference you should be making, okay? The real reference you should be making is to I'm Han Solo from the Kinect Star Wars game. This is the reference you should be making.
Cloud City's always looking for new talent. You think you have what it takes? So far, so good. And how far can you go?
Welcome, Raiders! Come on in, make yourselves at home.
Sounds looking that good.
Hell yeah! This is dumb. Yeah, but it's better than anything we just saw in that Daily Wire segment, okay? Anyway, back to Misery.
The reason they added those in there is because when you kill somebody, they watch you for like 5 seconds after you kill them. So you just like taunt them with a dance.
Dance, you sons of b****s! Dance like it's me down there!
18 people left. Ben, you're pretty close.
My running around in the forest strategy.
That's
important fruit.
Is there a way to tell where the people are? Like, do the...
No, that's the point of it.
They
You don't
just
know-
show
you don't-
up?
They just, you run into them. This game is modeled after Hunger Games. Like that was where they got the concept.
No, it's no, it's not. It's modeled after Battle Royale. I'm so mad. Oh my god. Oh fuck. It's based off of the Hunger Games. No, it's based off of fucking Japanese film about a bunch of children who murder each other on an island. Like it's not in fact about the Hunger Games. Please God, just let the suffering end. I'm so upset about this particular fact. The fact that kills me about that one, right, is that he literally opened up by calling this genre the Battle Royale genre. But then he's like, it's based on the Hunger Games. The name is in the genre.
Never seen it.
You've never seen Hunger Games?
Yeah, what the
No,
hell?
just a bunch of interviews of Jennifer Lawrence saying that she's the only female hero ever.
Nobody had ever put a woman in the lead of an action movie.
How should I know? I'm retarded.
Totally true.
Ben, you're in the top 10 people. I did not expect this. That's crazy. All right.
It's guerrilla warfare. You go to the forest and you wait it out.
But you haven't been waiting it out. You've just been running around the entire time.
In the forest, mostly.
That's true. Oh, you got the bugs next to you.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. Move back, move back.
There you go. Aim at him. Take your time and aim.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
I don't even know where I'm... Okay. I didn't like that. That was bad. I didn't like those guys. They were mean.
Yeah, you know what? Why don't we turn around and open that chest? Let's turn around. There you go. Oh, they're following you, Ben.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Shoot him, shoot him.
Aim at him.
Pew, 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 pew.
That guy's coming towards you. Shoot him. Nice. Again.
Oh,
nice.
that blew
One
up
more.
last time.
One more. Nice.
Monster kill. Unfreaking believable.
Top 7 people. Top 7 people out of 100. Just from going in the forest. That's
I see a car.
You can drive it if you want.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save up to £240 for a family of 4. Don't miss out. Book now with Jet2 Holidays.
Oh my god. What if we just made up for the complete absence of charisma with random bullshit? It's an incredibly audacious experiment for the Daily Wire to run when they're at the literal bottom of their credibility over the course of their entire existence. And, I, for one, say, why stop here? Run an entire series of these experiments for, like, the next year. Just really ram any shred of operational capacity. Just shred it out of existence. Honestly, I'd prefer if Ben Shapiro just did this for the rest of his life. I'd be fine with that. I could live with that world, you know?
Now, you don't want to go too far there because you have the storm right there. You see that?
There's a storm coming!
Oh, yeah, go back. No.
No, go the other direction.
That's the second time they've referenced that. Michael Shannon... Red State? Was it Red State? Was he in the movie Red State? Okay, I think he was in Red State, but he didn't play that type of character in Red State.
Reverse.
Reverse.
There you go.
Get out of that car.
Yeah, let's just hold square.
You don't belong in that car.
Yeah, that car was not for me. I did not like that car. Okay, I need to turn around. And
You're
go
top
that
5 people, Ben. You are top 5 people. This is
I'm just amazing at this game. I've discovered my calling.
No,
this is insanity.
Michael, okay.
You should just
update. Michael Shannon was not in Red State. I repeat, Michael Shannon was not in Red State.
Be a, what is it, like a Twitch streamer?
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for.
Do it, Ben. You could come on Twitch and debate me. Ben, do it. Become a Twitch streamer. Stream video games. Have more bad video game takes. We can debate BioShock Infinite. Come on, Ben. Get on Twitch. You can be the cool kid's philosopher again, I promise. Just debate me on BioShock Infinite. Let's go.
No, don't like that.
You gotta aim down.
How long is this video actually? Now, I know it feels like an eternity, but this video has in fact only been 16 minutes long. And we are through 15 minutes of it.
There you go. Take your time and aim. Yep, there you go. You can switch guns too by pushing R1 if you don't want to reload.
Yeah, you gotta kill the hive or they'll keep appearing, right, Jacob?
Yeah, maybe we should just leave the area.
I'd like to leave the area. I don't like this area. This area is mean and bad.
Oh yeah, you gotta start running. That circle's right on your behind. You're gonna have to cut left. You're gonna have to run that way.
Cannot sprint, low energy.
Less energy than Jeb Bush.
This can't be how you go. This can't be how you go.
It is telling that all of the Trump memes are from his first term, you know? When he still had some degree of, like, vigor left in him.
Run!
You know what, Ben? Let me save you real quick.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Let me see. Oh, man, no, it's too fast. Oh, man.
That's how I died? Wow, that was sad. Okay,
Number 5, you got 5th place.
Wow.
That is crazy.
It's your turn, Jacob.
It's my turn.
Let's see it.
You want me to?
You're gonna tell your kids you did this? Or are you never gonna admit it?
I'm never going to admit it because then my son will want to play it and I'll be like, nope.
Fair.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha! I would never want to play with my son. Ha ha ha! I'm Ben Shapiro and I hate my kids. Like, man. My kid would want to spend quality time with me. The horror. So anyway, if any of you were wondering what rock bottom of the Daily Wire looked like, I think this might be it. I think the most boring Let's Play you've ever seen in your lives, interspersed with a meaningless deluge of memes in an effort to curry favor with the youth. And Michael Knowles trying to hawk late-night religious infomercial garbage at you. You know, I feel like that's kind of like maybe bottom tier. Like, I don't think you can really go much lower than that. You know? It's kind of like when you saw what's his name? Milo Yiannopoulos selling religious merch for the church militant. It's similar levels of low. And I don't know, it couldn't have happened to worse people, and I'm here for it. I hope it continues to crater in ever more spectacular ways, but it's hard for me to imagine what could be worse than what we just saw. So I don't know, if you got anything out of that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, and consider supporting the show. Also, get organized, folks. Join your local Dems. Join your local DSA. If you need help making your Dems better, join our Discord. Reach out to Dragonfly for help with that. She is more than willing to assist you in joining your Dems and making them better, making them not shit. And, of course, also, if you want to get involved organizing local labor, join your DSA. Okay? We can help you do that too. Join our Discord. Reach out to Gamergy for help organizing with DSA. We got folks joining up. It's crazy. Y'all need to get involved in this because we are in the push toward the midterms. We need as many people as we can get on that. And also, folks, check out ImogeneOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes, also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. It is non-tucking, sexy lingerie. Link down in the doobly-doo, and let's keep on going. We did it. Whew. And folks, click the goddamn button. Go, go, go. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the button. Click the goddamn button. Click button. Click button. Click button. Click button. Click button. Click There we go. Carmul says, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate you. Thanks for joining the crew. Also, Sweet and Sour Serena, I want to just say I love y'all so much. If you do not realize, it's fine, but everyone here who has helped me feel better about who I am, what I stand for, Riverboat Jack has the best community, I swear. I appreciate that. I think we've got a pretty bash up community as well. I think it's great. Also, folks, we're getting closer and closer to our goal of 300 for some Stephen Colbert. I think that'd be pretty fucking great if we could hit that tonight. But we don't until tomorrow. We'll watch some Stephen Colbert tomorrow too. Okay. Can I recommend a rap video? No, not right now.
I want my brain cells back after that.
Sorry, no refunds. But thank you for the $5 super chat. No refills or refunds on brain cells. God. Oh, Sweet and Sour Serena, I keep an eye on all the chats. I see everything. And I appreciate you. Let's see. But I have so few to spare. I know. All right. Oh yeah, I was going to throw out there. People shouldn't be using abortion as contraceptive. I mean, Plan B is a contraceptive and it's considered an abortion. Like, also, it doesn't matter if you think that it's a good idea or not. Like, you're allowed to have opinions that don't comport with, like, the treatment other people get. Let's see. Option B, don't fuck. Yeah, but also people fuck. Right? Like that's kind of that's one of the things, right? Which is that like people do fuck and you have to deal with that reality. Also, it's so fucking late. I think we do have to end for the night. And we will resume this stuff tomorrow. I have too much going on. I got special meetings happening related to what we might be doing as we get closer to the midterms. Got a meeting for that. I've got someone coming to fix my elliptical finally. I'm so excited. You guys have no idea how stir crazy I've been getting not being able to move my body adequately.
That Ben Shapiro Fortnite segment had me happier than ever. I was reading Scorch Atlas at the time. If you know, you get it.
I don't know, and I don't get it, but I do know and get $5 from your super chat. Thank you very much for supporting the show, One-Eyed Weirdo. Always appreciate you. Oh, I also have therapy tomorrow. Had to cancel a meeting this week because it was conflicting with other meetings. That's kind of how I've been feeling about my scheduling lately, and it's been driving me nuts. But you know, it is one of those things where like you get older and suddenly your entire life is just going to meetings and waiting to go to meetings. That's like the worst part. Plan B isn't what people mean when they usually speak about abortion, but it is what some conservatives mean when they talk about abortion. Right? It's why conservatives also try to outlaw Plan B. And also have tried to outlaw contraception. Good luck with your therapy. Thank you. I think it'll be productive. Plan G, how about you mind your own damn business? Hey, Lunar Spunk, I appreciate that a lot. Question, why are we suddenly talking about abortion? Because we were talking about it earlier. Part of the Daily Wire segment was taking a look at what Michael Knowles has been doing, and he's been working with an organization that sets up like fake medical centers to trick women into not having abortions. Right, but some isn't all. You are arguing exceptions. I mean, I'm not arguing exceptions. I'm arguing what conservatives are trying to outlaw. Conservatives are trying to outlaw contraception, abortion in all its forms. And like that's bad. It's an inherently bad and evil thing to do. It'd be like saying, well, you got that broken leg through sinful means, so you can't have like a leg splint. You know, like, well, you got that heart disease through the sin of gluttony, so we can't give you an open heart bypass. Like, I don't know. I think that's pretty shitty. I hate when I break my leg during adultery. Is it bad that my knee-jerk response to that wanted to be, I hate when I break my leg while I'm fucking your mom? Spitfire absolutely does not deserve that, though, but that was the initial gut reaction I had to that. It's a good gut reaction. It serves me well usually online, but that was a friendly fire incident. It's a false equivalence. Abortion results in the direct loss of human life. Even if I granted that it results in the direct loss of human life, so does denying organ donation, you know? And yet we allow corpses to deny organ donation. Why attribute more agency to a corpse than you do to a woman who's pregnant? It doesn't make sense to me. Hey, Asuka. You joined over to being a white name. Indeed. Okay, now, good night. Because the life inside that woman has just as much a right to life as the mother. Yeah, but shouldn't, like a stranger's life, a stranger who's fully grown and born also have an equal right to life? Why should we not forcibly harvest organs from corpses or even prisoners or, you know, just, by lottery? Like, why shouldn't the government come and take your organs to save somebody else's life? It's because you have bodily autonomy, right? It's because you have the autonomy to say, no, I don't want my organs to be harvested, even if it might result in the lives of 1 or 2 people being saved. You know? Like, you don't need 2 kidneys. Does the baby not have autonomy? The baby has autonomy to an extent, right? In the sense that it exists. But insofar as it is able to communicate, insofar as it is able to actually be a full-fledged human being, you know that it wouldn't be that even if it was fully born, right? Like, babies are not adult humans. And in the sense that, like, there's autonomy, even if I were to grant, and the reason I said even tried to frame it in this way in the first place, even if I were to grant that babies had the exact same amount of autonomy as an adult, if they were made to be dependent on another adult to be alive by some kind of like surgical process, like, you know, you got like connected to another person's, like, I don't know, endocrine system for like a rare hormone or something that keeps you alive. That other person would have the right to say, no, I don't want my body to be used to keep you alive, even though you are a fully grown human being who is capable of talking and capable of communicating. That's what having bodily autonomy is. It is saying, no, you cannot simply violate my body. Point blank, period. So it just kind of seems to me like when we're talking about this issue, like, you're not really making any points that are coherent. The difference is the choice of the parent that brought the baby into existence. It's not really a difference, though. That's a difference without distinction. Like, if you got into a car accident with somebody else and like you caused the accident, you would not then be beholden to like hook your body up to keep that other person alive. For like you would not be beholden to that. Like supposing such an operation even existed. Like, even if you were liable for the injury, you would not be compellable to do that unless you did it of your own free will. Because the thing you are arguing here is that the government has the ability to compel you to give birth against your will, right? That's effectively what you're arguing. And I just disagree that the government should have that power. The same way I disagree that the government should have the ability to strap you down and take your kidneys. Strap you down and harvest your bone marrow, or harvest your various tissues for use in like helping other people. You know? The same way I think that the government shouldn't have the right to be able to do that to you, I also don't think the government has the right to do that to women. The government has the ability to preserve life. Okay, so in your world, the government has the right to strap you down and steal your kidney. Right? Right? Like that's what you're arguing. Eddie666, thank you for giving Asuka a sub. False equivalencies again. It's the same equivalency. You are contending that the government should have the ability to violate bodily autonomy in order to save life. And the position that that puts you in is then you have to defend the government doing that in other cases as well. It's not limited to just birth. Because again, by violating your bodily autonomy, several people's lives could be saved. Are their fully adult lives not worth as much as yours? What choice did I make to result in my kidney being taken? The choice of being alive. You're here, you have an extra kidney. By violating your autonomy, we can save lives. It's the same argument. It's actually a better argument than the one you gave. Because in this case, you could save several lives with your bodily tissues being harvested, even if it was against your will. So in this case, you're saying the government should be able to come and steal your bone marrow, steal your plasma, steal your kidney, you know, because that could save potentially, you know, depending on how long they strap you down. I imagine if like the government strapped you down and stole your blood plasma for a period of 9 months, that could potentially save hundreds of lives. Right? Like your blood plasma could save hundreds of people. But you, I'm guessing, wouldn't argue that the government has the right to strap you down for 9 months and do that to you, just because it would save other people's lives. And if your main argument is, well, pregnancy is a punishment that should be inflicted upon women, that doesn't seem like a good argument to me. Because you're just saying I'm special and get to be exempt from the government violating my autonomy. The choice of being alive is what makes it a false equivalence. I did not take direct action that resulted in it being necessary for my kidney to be taken. Sure you did. You chose not to give up your kidney. You chose to continue to live in a country where that's the policy. You opted into the social contract, my friend. Do you not choose to be alive every day you wake up and, like, continue to live? Pregnancy isn't the punishment, it's a consequence to an action. It's a punishment when you're denying medical care that could easily alleviate and take away the medical risk that comes with it. What you are alleging here or trying to push is not just, oh, it's a consequence. You're pushing for a legal ramification to force those women to have babies, even if it violates their bodily autonomy. Like, let's not pretend you are just in favor of natural consequences. You're pushing for, effectively, the state to have the power to force women to give birth. And, like, I just don't think the state should have that power. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe your kidney was taken because you violated some kind of city ordinance and were out too late in the wrong part of town wearing not enough clothing. I don't know. Why does the state get to allow people to die of medical death then? I don't know. I think we're talking to somebody who fundamentally doesn't believe in bodily autonomy. Or worse, does believe in bodily autonomy, but, only for people like them, not for, pregnant people. Hey, medical risk, less than 1% of abortions are medically necessary. Again, we've been over this. Doctors in states that have outlawed abortion don't give medically necessary abortions because it opens them up to enormous legal liability and civil liability. And on top of that, again, worth noting that every single day, somewhere on the planet, 700 women die in childbirth. Every day. 260,000 women die every year in childbirth. The idea here that, like, oh, well, it's it's a non-existent risk. Man, you need to know what the fuck you're talking about. I don't think you've ever looked at a friend or family member who's almost bled out and, like, looked them in the eyes and really dealt with the idea that the state should be sending armed men to force them to give birth. I don't think you've actually... I think to folks like you, it's a hypothetical. It's all made up. There's no real risk. It's a thought experiment. You haven't given thought to the idea that such laws require physical force and threat from the state. Yeah, true. Tricker, you don't even need a doctor for those legal liabilities. You can have a miscarriage and be tried and convicted of not taking good enough care of your fetus that you did not consent to. True. Like, not even asking, forcing women to be pregnant and then punishing them if anything happens to them while they're pregnant that results in, like, a miscarriage or some kind of accident while giving birth. Like, my own mother nearly died because I was born breech. She told me she would do it again. That's great. But not every woman should be forced to do that. That's a real risk to your mom. Your mom should not have the gun of the state pointed to her head to force that decision for her. What she is doing is a selfless act of love. And what you are trying to force is cruelty and torture to a degree unimaginable. If you want to argue anecdotes, we can argue anecdotes. Sure, we can. But the point being that, like, saying your mom should be forced to do what she did, that if she got pregnant again, she should take on that risk. You would watch your mother bleed out and die because the state forced her to. That's pretty fucked up. That's pretty fucked up. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it takes for you to have such a fucked up idea about life and about children and about the rights of other people that you sit there and you tell everyone with a straight face that, like, you think the state should force women to take on that risk. As opposed to killing millions of babies each year. I mean, like, if you're willing to sacrifice your mom on that altar, like, there's not really a point in talking with you about it, right? Like, I've already tried to engage with you on the idea that, like, even if this was a fully grown person, I would still support the idea of abortion because I think people have bodily autonomy, even in cases where, like, the other person is, like, can't consent. Like, you have the right, inviolable right to your own body and your own bodily integrity. No one else can take that from you. That is my position. You are clearly approaching this from a position of, well, it's a violable right. You know, sometimes women just have to be held down and things done to them. That's your position. And it's very convenient for people like you to make that argument because you think that, well, women can be violated, but men can never be violated. Because you don't think it's going to be something that affects you. I don't know. I think that's a particularly heinous and disgusting way to view the world. And I think it speaks to how you view women. I think it speaks to your character. I think it speaks to your values. And you don't value half the world's population. And I think that's pretty sad. And I think it's going to be ultimately something that makes you very lonely. Yeah, like, honestly, the thing that makes your mother's actions commendable are the fact that she chose to take that risk and have you. It's not commendable to, like, acquiesce at the barrel of a gun. Like, you're just doing what you need to do to survive and not get killed by the state. I don't know. It's sad. Like, I don't share your religious views. I don't want your religious views forced on me, and I certainly don't want your religious views forced on women who deserve way better than the kind of fucking moral table scraps you give them. It's gross. Anyway, I do like debate. It's fun. All that being said, if you guys have enjoyed the show, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and, you know, leave a comment. Do the things. Help the channel grow. You guys got this. I need to get to bed so badly. Bye, everybody. Bye. Not a religious view? Yeah, fucking right. I grew up in fundamentalist Christianity. I know exactly where the fuck you come from, bud. Not a religious view. Yeah, you arrived at the idea that women need to be forced to be pregnant, all on your lonesome. For sure. I hope that helps you sleep at night, you lying sack of shit. Bye!